Welcome to Raw Talent with your host, Mz Tink. Welcome to Raw Talent. Welcome to Raw Talent with your host, Mz Tink. Welcome to Raw Talent.
Represent the seven cities, yes, I'm gonna represent.
You better turn up for your song.
Yes, I'm gonna represent the seven cities. He goes. I'ma give me some power for the money and cheese. I grind for 24 hours. You want some respect? Remain from buzzers and cowards. For G's, for hustlers, we grind for 24 hours. Yeah, 24
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Raw Talent Roundtable discussion. We have a new setup, a new member on the panel, and everything. So, hope you tuning in from Facebook, which is also new for us this month. Rather, go ahead and introduce yourself. What's up with you?
My name is Taquan. You can follow me on Instagram at BoomerNJ91.
My name is Kendra. You can find me on IG at Kendra Tiara.
It's WillGetEm. You can follow me on IG, WillGetEm VA.
And actually, this is Will's song. He representing VA. And usually we feature one specific artist, but this week I want to feature Virginia, the whole VA. I mean, especially shout out to my city, Richmond, but we're going to feature the whole entire state. Hey, Princess, how you doing, girl? Thank you for tuning in. I see you.
Princess, what's happening?
So this month is America's Diabetes Month. Any of y'all familiar with diabetes? Yeah. Everybody know about the sugar.
Right.
Everybody know about the sugar. You will catch the sugar.
I don't know if I have good facts about it.
Okay, so what do you know about it?
You know, if you eat a lot of sugar.
You really
Diabetes.
think if you eat sugar, you get diabetes?
What? That's what I heard. People that have sweets, that's what I heard. People that love them have a sweet tooth, they wind up getting diabetes.
I know it's
That's not true.
Not true.
That's not
it's
true.
really just it's like your body doesn't process insulin well. But insulin is found in a lot of different stuff. Like a lot of it is found in like potatoes and pasta and stuff, and people don't know that. A lot of people think it's
The princess said everybody know about the sugar.
yeah, right. No, but really does.
Hey, Rika. Okay, so I'm gonna let you know a little bit about diabetes. So I can tell you from personal experiences. My father passed away from diabetes. My grandmother had diabetes on his side. My mom is pre-diabetic, which means she has type 2, basically. I have aunts and uncles and everybody, both sides of my family, who have it. And my dad lost both of his legs due to diabetes. He had heart failure, kidney failure, vision loss. All of that was because it attacks your vital organs.
Yeah.
So, what I found about diabetes was that diabetes is a disease in which the body's ability to produce or respond to the hormone insulin is impaired, resulting in abnormal metabolism or carbohydrates and elevated levels of glucose in the blood and urine. There are two types, which is type 1, which is what my dad had. Gotcha, princess. So my dad had juvenile, and it's also type 2, which is what my mom has. What's up? What's your name? Hey, Easy! I know. Do you know how to do it? You can't do it.
Log into her jump from your phone.
Well, that's real.
So my
My grandfather has it, so I know it can be passed down in generations.
Yes, it can be hereditary.
I can share it.
it can be, you have to take insulin, which has to be, for type 1, you have to take insulin. And it has to be injected through the skin into the fatty tissue. I used to inject my dad, and my dad passed away when I was in my early 20s, so I've been dealing with him with diabetes since I was, like, really young. By the time I graduated from middle school, he had already lost both legs. So, you know, I used to carry the wheelchair and pack it up in the car, and you know, you wouldn't have, unless you like really saw. He was like one of them independent disabled people. Like he walked on his nubs, you know what I'm saying? He got it popping. He didn't care. He was like, he was taking care of people from a chair while in a chair. Like, you know.
Strong.
Yeah.
That's why you strong.
Yeah. So, in people with type 1 diabetes, the damaged pancreas doesn't make insulin. With type 2 diabetes, the pancreas makes some insulin. But either the amount made isn't enough for the body's need or the body's cells resist it. There's no cure for diabetes. Diabetes that is triggered by pregnancy is called gestational diabetes. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
I didn't have it. You know,
I didn't have it. They tested it. I didn't have it.
And my dad's mom had it with him, and I was wondering, like, honestly, I didn't find anything about it, but I was wondering if gestational diabetes has any correlation with you ending up with diabetes yourself. Like, if your parent is carrying you and has gestational, would that mean that you...
Not necessarily.
You know?
I don't know though. I don't know for sure.
But that would be a good question.
I would think not necessarily.
I would hope not.
I mean, being pregnant is stressful on your body.
I mean, it didn't hit me that hard.
Yeah. Being pregnant didn't hit you that hard?
No, it did not.
Okay.
But that'd be the next topic.
You ain't need to show.
Hey.
You know? I mean,
You know.
face still beating.
Not everybody can be Beyonce.
Nigga. Oh! Beyonce and you. Bitch, y'all hanging out. Pregnant buddies. I can't.
What you have,
Okay, so some facts about diabetes. Today, there are more than 7 classes of oral medications to help manage and treat type 2 diabetes, which is 100% true because my mom was on the medication and she got off of it. After she lost weight, she didn't have to take the medication anymore. So you can regulate it, you know. People with type 2 diabetes can also use non-insulin injections, GLP-1, a NOS, for the treatment and management of type 2 diabetes. About 1/3 of the people with diabetes do not know they have the disease, which is kind of sad because with anything, if you catch it early, you can, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it attacks your vital organs. So can you imagine your vital organs being attacked and you don't even know that they're being attacked? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Type 2 diabetes often does not have any symptoms. Only about 5% of all people with type 1 will have type 1 diabetes. If you're at risk for type 2 diabetes, it can be prevented with moderate weight loss, 10 to 15 pounds, and 30 minutes of moderate physical activity, like brisk walking every day. So everybody get out there and exercise. I'm about to start next week myself. A meal plan for a person with diabetes isn't very different than that which is recommended for people without diabetes. It's basically how much you eat of what you eat, not necessarily what you eat. So it's like increase them vegetables and lower them carbs and, you know, like that. Diabetes is the leading cause of blindness in working adults. People with diabetes are twice as likely to develop heart disease than someone without diabetes. Good control of diabetes significantly reduces the developing complications and prevents complications from getting worse. So you control your condition, you don't have to worry about it getting worse. Which I think that was honestly what was wrong with my father because he had juvenile, so he was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine a kid having to be concerned about their health at every turn? You know, so he didn't take it seriously in the beginning, and then when he began to take it serious, it was like already like, oh, we got a hold of your vision right quick, you know. Diabetes costs $174 billion annually, including $116 billion in direct medical expenses. Very expensive. Very expensive.
I have a question. Because with type 1 diabetes, I know that's like early onset, like as far as like getting as a child or being born with diabetes, so to speak. Is it possible to regulate it as easily as type 2 diabetes, or is that kind of like a...
I think it's more complicated.
Yeah.
It's like the stages of cancer. The more progressed the cancer, the harder it is to manage. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I know plenty of people who have type 2.
Yeah.
But
That's the most common.
they don't have to do as much as somebody with type 1.
Right.
Like my mom take metformin where my dad had to do an injection. You know what I'm saying? That's two different ends of the spectrum. You know.
Gotcha. Okay.
So y'all have any more thoughts on diabetes?
Like what can I was thinking like a preventative also.
Exercise.
Exercise
And eating healthy.
And also fasting. People don't really know about fasting. Intermediate fasting and also just clear nothing. Water, or just fruits and vegetables fast.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
It's always good to be.
And water is very important.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like to drink it, but it's very important. It's like
You are water.
right. You know.
Right, exactly.
Because I was drinking my weight in water, and people be thinking it's hard, but it's not that hard.
It's not much.
It's like, you know, I ain't gonna tell you how many bottles I had to drink.
It takes discipline, though.
You know.
And the pH level is important too.
Yes, especially in you girls.
Okay.
Drink that water, eat that fruit. Most fruit turn into water.
Alcohol, water.
And watermelon.
sugar.
Like
Be
Beyonce
careful with the
said,
fruit though,
watermelon.
because that's also sugar.
Yes. Yes. And some of it has acid
Yes,
in there,
yes.
which can still cause other. It's like double negatives, man. You can't.
Yeah.
Everything's
Moderation.
good in moderation. Exactly.
In moderation.
Everything's good in moderation.
Right.
In moderation. Well, I had some things that I found that we don't really have to get into a topic about, but I just wanted to bring it to the table because, you know, something catch your eye, you're like, okay, I need somebody else to hear this, you know. So, I ran across this article and I put it on a roundtable discussion page, and it says, studies find that women love men who cheat on them more than the faithful ones. And I personally...
Pause. Reread
Women
that.
love men who cheat on them more than the faithful ones. Personally, nigga, no, straight up no. It's really no.
People do always gravitate to something they can't have. That's
What does that have to do with you being cheated on,
That's the only
though?
reason why I would agree kind of that way. Because once you realize you fully can't have something, you kind of want it a little more. And that is.
But you have him if he cheating on you.
That is true.
He yours and he sharing himself with
That
other
is
people.
true, but people do like what they can't have. And once you find out
But
someone
you have him.
I mean, that's all I gotta say to it.
I can say
have
that.
no other thing to say to it.
I was
but
asking
that.
that it
That's
don't make
my
sense. I
only
just
comment.
think it
It don't
doesn't
make
make
sense
sense.
to me.
It doesn't make
It
sense at
doesn't.
all.
But
Okay,
people
so-
like what they can't have.
Maybe they mean like if you're still in a relationship with that person.
And they're
Like-
cheating on you, that you'll stay. More likely than leave. Because women are attracted to them.
I won't say attractive.
I don't understand
know
what the
that's
fuck
what
is
they meant
attractive
or not.
about
It's
community
attractive.
dick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I'm
exactly
sorry.
what it is.
It's not attractive to
I
me.
think it's just the rush and the adrenaline and just
Yeah,
the
you got-
charge.
Nigga,
Yeah,
she
like you
ain't the
said.
one cheating though. She the one getting cheated on. So what
Yeah,
rush is she getting from him going to penetrate somebody else?
That's what I was like. Okay, so unless they're saying like the study found that women who have forgiven their men for cheating love their men more than women who have a faithful name.
Like you cleave
Because
on to
that
him
makes
because
more
you
sense
forgot,
to
you
me.
done forgave him, y'all done went through something.
Yeah,
y'all
like,
know
that
I can
makes more
understand
And
sense.
also,
to me.
you're trying to change yourself. So
I
you have
can't
to change the way you
understand
love
you
the
just
person.
out here
But
with Becky and Sarah and Chris. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, I love you
I
more.
love
I love you more because.
but I love
Okay. So, this is like kind of like outside of our scope of stuff, but did Cardi B force Nicki Minaj into retirement?
No,
No.
don't ever.
Oh, the peanut gallery said no.
Don't go for Nikki. Exactly.
Don't go for Nikki.
Thank you.
I'm a
Thank you. I grew up with Nikki. Like,
She doing her she doing her
Okay,
in the business.
so
That too.
Like,
Yeah.
we got comments from Facebook, and Mika said some women don't know any better, so they accept whatever as far as the
that is true
woman
to
being
me,
okay
too.
with the guy cheating on them. That is 100% true, and I think that has a lot to do with self-esteem. esteem
And
of
seeing
yourself.
healthy relationships
Yes.
and knowing what
Patterns.
a healthy relationship and patterns are. Not everyone sees that.
That's important. I think that's
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's important. That's the key thing right
Yeah, so Nicki Minaj and Cardi though, like
No, I don't think
Man,
so.
they too
Nicki been in the game
Yeah,
for
exactly.
I was gonna say, they had two
People,
sides of the same coin.
Everything.
There's two different types of
so you don't
rappers.
think Cardi
I
had
just don't
anything to do
think
with
they
her
should.
career?
I don't think Nicki was affected by her.
Yeah.
I don't think she fucking retired. I
I
just
don't
don't
think she was
see
tired
that.
either.
She got married.
affected.
When
her.
did
When
you
did you do?
She's
Yeah,
married.
like,
She wants to live
See,
She want her family
for
back.
real,
You know,
Nicki
Nicki
come for
want
everybody
So
fucking
they
top,
should
and I don't think she
have
was ready for
She
Cardi.
wasn't
ready for Cardi.
She wasn't ready for Cardi.
early, late 30s.
She's like 36.
I didn't know that.
So she's married. She wants
Oh,
to have
Cardi
kids.
36. That's
No,
the new
no,
23.
No,
Oh.
Nicki.
Oh.
But Nicki always said she wanted to get married and have kids, but she didn't want to have kids until after she got married. So this could be her time. This is her time to.
Mhm.
So she retired to have babies.
Because she just got married.
Excuses, bro. You know how many
That's not-
rappers in the
who she
industry
married
have babies.
Okay.
And
The
she
new-
was
I don't
she's
know her name.
different. I'm gonna
Okay,
sit down on this
hey
side.
Crystal, we really going back to that whole
Yes.
woman and men, you know, women.
Because it's interesting, right?
Community, anything isn't cool. What's yours is for you, not everyone else. I know that's right, sister. I mean, things happen, but they can also be avoided. Amen. You are
Okay.
responsible for your response.
The response is your
Amen,
responsibility.
That's right.
Amen.
Okay, so listen to this one. A man on death row died and came back. Should he be released, being that he started a new life?
No.
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 Why? I think he should be released.
No,
I think
what the
he
fuck?
should.
Okay, he'll come back and stop murdering
You
motherfuckers.
can't
First of
Life?
all, my first thing is, why the fuck did they revive him?
They did. He probably just didn't die.
No, the article said they revived him.
They
So you
revived
should have
him?
fucking let his ass
Ass
choke
die.
and
But
croak.
his-
You really didn't provide them.
What the fuck are you on death row? He
Oh,
revived
so like
him.
this wasn't his actual execution. He was just on death row, and something happened.
Oh,
and
yeah. What's the?
It don't matter.
Yeah,
It don't matter what the reason was. He was on death row.
But
The
that
row
doesn't
he was
count.
supposed to die on,
That
they should have let his
doesn't
ass die.
No, that don't count.
That's what.
But if he committed
So you
suicide,
saved him
No.
because you wasn't meaning to it. Oh, he
Because-
died on the 12th. We was trying to kill him on the 13th.
Yes,
So
he
we
I mean,
did.
but you gotta look at it though. If he tried to commit suicide, if he tried to commit suicide, and someone walked past his cell and caught him dangling and was able to save his life, then the news would have been a whole different story. Y'all let a man kill himself in front of y'all, and y'all just
Yeah.
still somebody on death
I
row
mean,
and he died tomorrow,
they-
and then the news
I'm
is a
sorry.
whole other different story. But you gotta
look.
look at it from every aspect.
I think I'm just on the wrong side.
If that was, God forbid, if that was one of your loved ones, and they gotta get executed on
He's
the 13th,
on death
and they tried to kill
row.
himself on the 12th,
Okay.
you don't be looking at the everybody.
Why you let him die 2 days early?
Look at
I
that.
mean,
We
people
was
do
gonna
that.
not spend them 2 days with him ahead of time. What the fuck you do that for? Like,
People do it.
Yeah.
what
Really?
really?
You gotta remember, we at the time that you sit there and tell a woman she looks sexy, you get sued for
I
it.
don't
People
agree
do
with
it.
death row in the first place.
I don't either.
You don't? Kill a motherfucker.
I don't
I'm
agree
sorry,
with
I
that.
Kill them.
Mika said they should have let him dangle.
I mean, true.
His
But-
time
His
is
time was
coming.
coming anyway. I'm with you, Mika. I'm with you.
But-
That's what I'm
okay.
saying.
But
Just let
then
him
you
die.
got
We in the
situations.
same age, you get
Shit,
sued.
you the one paying for his stay.
Yeah, he better die.
He getting a better deal than you are.
I'm just
How much you paying rent?
I'm
I
just-
bet you more than what the fuck he paying.
$3 a
Exactly.
Exactly.
And then he get to choose his favorite meal at the end of his
Before he
economy stay before they inject him with medication and your tax dollars pay for
I'm
it.
just saying, this day and age.
I'm
you
just
get sued for
saying,
everything.
you could have saved a couple of dollars by ending his life by letting him dangle. That's all
That
I'm
whole,
saying.
you know.
Nah, okay.
Yeah, let him dangle.
Well, let them bleed out however way he's trying to go. It don't
Okay,
matter.
so this one, it was a hoax, but just to think that this was even possible was crazy to me. So a lady working at a hotel steals a man's sperm and
Oh my God.
sues for child support and wins.
I
How
saw
the
that
fuck?
online.
Sued for cheating.
He's like, what?
He got $2 million.
Child support. Yes,
And back
$2
child
million
support.
in back child support.
Because he was a
That bitch.
millionaire.
Yeah, she saw his bank statement.
Hey,
I think-
how about, yeah, go ahead.
Who
She
steals
was
sperm?
a jail.
Who
Yeah.
steals sperm out of a condom that's just left in somebody's
You're
room?
stealing someone's bodily fluid. Set it
Yeah.
against their
It's
will.
rape.
Right.
First
You
of all,
deserve to go to
right,
jail.
first
Yeah,
of all,
that's what I'm about to say.
She raped his
I'm about to
body
say,
fluid.
yeah,
First
that's
of all.
kind of like,
In a way.
nigga, I need to know you
Right
before
there.
your sperm be inside my body.
Yeah.
I'm not about to just let
They
anybody.
have HIV.
Kids,
Still,
you know,
But she wanted kids. But that's not the way
you
to
don't
go.
know what his bill of health look like.
He rich, it ain't matter.
It's just
And then
like-
one fucking judge said, okay, this nigga don't know her. He ain't never.
But you gonna pay this child
had,
support.
he couldn't enjoy making the kid. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta pay her back child support.
Hey, $2 million? Fuck that. I'm sorry.
I would assume
Fuck them
that
kids. I'm sorry. Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids.
So, okay, so if this wasn't a hoax, what do you think should have happened
She should have been
with
charged.
it? Okay, but what would happen to the kid?
Foster care. I'm
Like
sorry.
everybody else.
It hurt. It sucked. But I don't have a
There
fucking
have
to a kid. I ain't
been
fucking
sadder
make like.
situations. Like single moms who gotta go to work and ain't got no child care. The kids still home by themselves. What happens to them? Foster care.
You're right.
And you got some crazy ass lady stealing sperm.
Out of fucking. What made
Which
you go
in a
to
hotel
What
room.
made you go to trash? Oh my god, you got sperm in here?
Okay, so I know everybody's seen this shit about the girl who went to her son's school and beat his ass.
Bro,
Yeah, I heard
wrong
about
take,
it.
wrong
What?
time.
Heard about it at work.
Yeah, so
This
apparently the teacher called the mom saying, hey, Jimmy's acting up. Well, no, let's say Taquanisha Day, because it was a black kid. So, he acting up, so you need to come up here. So I didn't watch it with sound because I was at work when I watched it, but from what I seen, it was like she walked through the hall, went through, said something to the teacher, went into the cafeteria, yoked the boy up, brought him back out in the hallway, and beat the hell out of him with the gun. And then got in his face and was like,
Wrong time, wrong place.
you know.
Nice.
It's like he get
And
bullied.
then they follow her leaving. First of all, who the fuck recorded it?
Or something.
That's what I want to know.
Stood there.
Yes,
One of the
she
kids,
won't
bro.
record it.
One of the kids.
Somebody
I know how
else
to record
recorded it and was following her from
I
the
heard
point
about
she
it at
talked
work
to
in the break
teacher.
room.
One of the
That's
kids.
what I
This is
heard.
real. This is what
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was probably they could have been worried about the kids.
Now, my thing is, I got 2 kids. And anybody that knows my daughter
Oh yeah. I'm
knows
sorry.
that she is one of the people that try your soul. Like,
Your soul.
like
I
Your
know, I
spirit,
just
your
changed my
soul.
mind.
the E that should be in
I
soul,
consider that
she
she
tries
might
that.
be
You know what I'm
soul.
saying? I love her to death. I love her to death, but she really, really tries it. But you would never catch me beating her in public. Like
that.
you want to?
Not like that.
I don't beat her at home, but you would never catch me. If I got to the point where my kid was acting that bad, like I would have went to school and calmly signed them. I would have became Becky. Hello. How you doing? I'm here to pick up Taquanisha. Yes, she has a doctor's appointment. She needs some medical assistance.
Might not be here tomorrow.
That's what I would have did. You know, I would have took him home, and I understand the frustration, especially looking at it like from, like you said before, different angles. What if she was a single mother who had gotten this call 5 or 6 times by this time,
Yeah, but you can't beat no kid like that.
and she had to leave work early. She worked on a dead-end job that ain't gonna pay her for the rest of the day. The rent is past due. The car note past due. Taquanisha about to grow like a sprout. Need some new clothes, shoes, Christmas coming up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, we don't really know the backstory.
However,
But the time we live in, that kid, that came out with the self-esteem. That's how the kids get bullied, and that's how kids end up committing suicide.
Yeah, you're
There's
right.
a time and a place. I'm not saying you can't beat your child, but
I'm just
doing it
gonna
in
say-
the
Right.
Also,
For the
I
brand.
was
I'm
that
gonna say
child.
this.
Like, my mother went through that, and I was that child that was a badass.
My
So my
mother was
mother
like
was
that,
to come up
amen.
to the
I
store
pray for him.
and whoop my ass in front of the class and everything else. It would have been like,
My mother threatened it, but
I
she never
just-
actually did.
my
She
mother
beat
never
your ass
did
at
either.
home.
yeah, my mother beat my ass
No,
at home.
like,
But if my mother was doing
what?
to me, it would literally would have been like,
She was
Mom used
Damn,
to
I
line
deserve
us
that,
up
yo.
and be like,
my
"Ooh,
mother was
all
at
right."
Eastern State, everything else.
Yeah.
You know,
Old school.
she did
yeah,
shit.
and I'm about to say, cause you're right about that.
you do what you see.
Yeah, you know, you are a product of your environment. I'm a proud product of. I learn from my environment, not do what I see.
Little Tay, I'm weak.
She go with my name, Taquanisha. Little Tay look neglected. Yeah, the baby did look neglected. The baby looked neglected. They had on hot water. I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
Yes. So you embarrassed
And she
me
looked
twice.
angry when she did it. You should
The
let yourself
child
calm
should have beat
down.
her ass because you embarrassed me twice. You made me come to school with hot water,
Yeah,
and then you
so-
go pull me out the cafeteria
Yeah,
right
beat your
during lunch.
kid and
Probably the
cry
only
for
meal
her.
I'd have had today. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know. I don't even know exactly what it is. But I'm just saying, I have a son.
Like, I literally was that
And that's why I
badass. If
wanted
my
to
mom
back
came
you
to
up
the
on
store
that.
and beat my ass, it would have been like, y'all doing all this to my mom?
I was gonna back
I'm
you up
wrong.
on that,
Like, and
because-
that was, my mother raised me to understand when I did wrong and did right. So my mother came to the store and beat my ass, school and beat my ass, it would have been.
Well, you'd have been in the store the whole
Yeah,
time.
like,
I'm just
It
like,
is what it is.
But yes, you gotta understand
It's
certain
like,
people have
yeah.
certain situations.
Exactly.
yeah.
Like, I would have understood.
She
I
looked
mean, back in the day, you had, you know, Mary Ann, Keisha, you know, all of them. They would pass your ass around. I couldn't think of no old names.
Oh my gosh, your aunt.
They used to pass you around. You know what I'm
Now
saying?
Barbara and shit.
Yeah, that's all old name. Hey, Laverne Janae.
Hey.
But yeah, they would pass you around and beat you. So it's like now in time, the times have changed. And first of all, I want to point this out though. It's less beat your children and more kids in general. At younger
It's true.
ages. I'm just gonna say that.
You said let's be neutral.
Because I'm sorry, I don't believe in timeout.
You can. There are different ways.
I would take the time out and whip your hind, but I don't believe in timeout. Like my son at 2 years old, he got mad because he peed on himself and I popped him. So he went in his room and shook his dresser until the TV fell on him. I told him that was God's way of telling him that he was wrong. I'm not gonna hold you.
It's different ways.
You beat me. I don't care because at the same time, why the hell did you go do that? You throwing a temper tantrum and you done put yourself in jeopardy.
Leave my baby alone.
My kids are very freaking intelligent.
Leave my babies alone.
Um,
He was just frustrated.
My mama said correction in school, not the store.
He got some
And then I told him when he corrected, I said you better at the store the whole time.
Better keep it rolling, man. Keep it rolling.
Right, okay, so a girlfriend. Oh, what was the question, babe?
He said, do you believe in timeout or do you believe in actually spanking your children? Right?
I mean, it depends on the level of the punishment. Like my son, I could get him one of them quick, like, if you don't stop playing with me. My daughter, I'd be like,
No.
she'd be like,
Marquise,
you know what I'm saying? That's the time to
just call her son aunt. I'm calling auntie.
I'm about to say different children.
don't tell my
require
grandparents
different-
they don't have.
different
Well, Big Mother don't
responses.
have Facebook, so don't tell her I use her name, okay? I said Barbara.
Oh, you trying to say that she be
You
passing?
know, like I mean, Keith came. I was 19 when I had my son. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of like, I never really had to like beat him. It was more like a chill out. You know what I'm saying? And he like, oh, okay, mommy, I'm not playing no more. You know, my daughter, she's the 2018.
18 babies, they different.
Yes, she
They
like.
wired
I'd be like,
different.
chill out. She'd be like, be quiet.
She like, shh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do with that?
She
She
like, Ray, no. She said, no. Mommy, no.
Exactly. She wanted you back.
She
Like,
like,
what you
pop.
want back?
She be like, no, pop. I'm like,
She like this.
okay, so Laverne Janae says discipline should be according to the situation. The purpose of discipline is to learn a lesson, not to be beaten. I know.
Thank you for not beating me, auntie. I love you.
I know that's right.
She ain't never beat me because I was a good child.
So a girlfriend plans a trip for her man and her kids and doesn't pay for his kid. Is she wrong?
No. That's not my kid. I ain't birthed you.
I don't
Wait a
think
minute.
they're wrong.
That's why I can't be no stepmama. I'm sorry.
Certain things happen in life that you just can't.
Afford all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the
Even
same.
if I could
I don't feel like she was wrong either because you don't know the whole story again.
Yeah, I bet you know. I don't know.
So-
Even if I did.
And then she took on him. I feel like it's way more expensive to pay for an adult than it is for a child in any
So
situation.
then all he had to do was pay for his kids.
Exactly. So what's
And
wrong
that's
with
if the
that?
other parent allowed the kid to go.
And that's even if it's kids
And
with
then
us.
honestly, it's also how much money everybody makes. because
Exactly.
Depending on what y'all doing.
It's a difference.
Me and mama could like,
Yeah.
TT
There's
not
a lot of
going.
context to that one.
Yeah. Okay, so little girl in middle school is wearing lashes, makeup, and wigs.
Oh, man.
Child,
Whose
I got
fault is
cousins
that?
like that.
You got a couple cousins like that?
Mm-hmm. They got the full sewings and everything.
I feel like that's excessive. And these kids nowadays, like in addition, so you don't get beatings, you can't beat people the kids in public, can't snatch them up right quick because then it's child abuse. And then they walking around looking like they 35. I'm
Right.
sorry. I
But you still
don't
allow
understand.
it to happen.
And you
job.
wonder why people are getting abducted and why it's the thing is kids being molested and all this stuff. Like you're dressing your 15-year-old like she's fucking 30. Like that's crazy to me.
And you treat them like they're like that.
Yeah, responsibilities like they 30. You know, all they ain't doing is
Yeah.
paying bills, and someone might be doing that. You never know.
Yeah, no.
I just feel like let a kid be a kid because you don't get that opportunity back once they, branch out. You don't get it back.
Michael Jackson went crazy. get his childhood.
Okay.
Oh, I'm about to say, why he went crazy?
He didn't get his childhood. Like,
Explain
for
it.
real,
Do you think he reverted?
Yeah,
like,
that time is really, really crucial. You only get a small amount of time in your life where you get to be a child.
Yeah.
And then, like, that's the
It take
majority
off.
of your life. Like,
I've been trying to go back to 17 for like the past 3
who you talking shit? I'm trying to go back to 6.
Let somebody give me the opportunity. Like, sign me up, coach.
Okay.
Sign me up. I will make straight A's.
Okay.
No boys. Okay.
You need them anyway.
I told my son when he graduated elementary school, all girls have HIV.
You
Don't kiss them. Don't touch them. Nothing. Yes. Yes.
what was that topic?
It turned
One more
again.
What the one we talk about?
Yeah, what was the one?
Kids wearing lashes and stuff like that.
yeah.
Making their wigs.
I feel like that is a little excessive. Like, it go back to Kendra said.
Do you have a daughter?
I have a daughter, so
See,
it's
you
like,
gonna-
man,
You're
like,
gonna be really
How old is
overprotective.
she's 2, and she looks like she's 4. So
Oh.
it's
See,
She
it's
big.
already
like, yeah,
started.
Tall.
so it's like, tall, people are.
My
I
daughter-
need
my
like
daughter's,
she's 6 months old and she almost 2.
My daughter's almost 2 and she looks like she's about 6 months. So,
But her attitude is on
but her
21.
attitude is you can have a full grown adult conversation with her.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Exactly.
And she'll be like, what you doing? Name. Like, straight up. And that's not because we treat her like she's an adult. It's just because her doctor be like, look, she's 6 months ahead of her time. I don't know what to tell you.
Let kids be kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she mad at 6
They
months.
need that
ahead of her
time.
time.
They do. They do.
We want.
Mom, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say we wanna.
Okay,
make them
Laverne
better.
Janae said 50 is better. Please know this. I don't think we was arguing 50.
She said take the makeup off.
We can't argue. And yeah, she says take the makeup off, allow children to be children, and enjoy the season they are in. I know that is right.
Well, you
But
better
I want
wear
my
no makeup.
kids
I know
to
she better wear no
enjoy
makeup
it.
at school. Let me find out.
Who smokes?
Mom
Yes, I got Smooth can't wear no makeup.
Mom said 50 is better.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
I ain't got that yet, Mom.
The video?
Man, that don't look right.
That's not recorded though.
That's not.
Yeah.
That don't look right. Is it what I record?
How you gonna do that? Sorry guys, give us a second. You said what?
I said, will it record your sound, you think?
It'll pick it up, but you understand my point?
Yeah.
This is Facebook.
Facebook all day.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I was thinking. They'll save it for later. And you can save
I
it.
just edited it and all that.
I
Let's
think
like
so.
a regular video.
I think so. Trying
Oh, I
to
know
see.
this part. That's my
It
problem.
ain't looking right on here. I'm
But-
sorry. It's not looking right on here.
But are y'all ready to jump into our first topic? Or would y'all like to do a question? Because we got a new segment this week called Quick Questions as well. So they're just like one-line questions, quick questions, relationship questions. So which y'all want to get into? Quick questions or topic?
Quick question.
Quick questions.
That's my vote.
Okay. So since that's your vote, Kimmy, let's let you pick the first one.
Hey.
See my cute bucket? I did that.
She's prepared. Okay.
She's actually.
Most people say I'm crazy, ain't no denying 'cause it's true. And boy, you know I'm crazy over you. Boy, you know I'm crazy over you. You said it's insecurity, that it was you and not me. Your minds were racing lately, believe me, I feel you, baby, 'cause I got trust issues too. From holding on to past love, but never mind what the past was.
By the way, shout out to KP, and we're back, you guys. Had a brief intermission, and we were at the point where we were about to get into our quick question segment. So,
Quick question.
should you, Kimby?
I like quick questions. It's my favorite part. Okay. This one says, guys. Oh, it's a guy's question. Y'all ready for this? When is the best time for your partner to let you know that you aren't sexually satisfying them? During sex, after sex, before sex, never. And then for women, when do you think it is appropriate time? Then you read it again.
Never appropriate time.
It's never.
You said it's never?
No.
It's
I was
never
that's what that was like.
So
you,
how would you want her to take
How you gonna know if you're doing right?
I don't know if y'all can take it.
It's a double-edged sword. It's literally a double-edged sword. It's like, we don't know if y'all can handle it.
Right.
It's like
No, and the question
if I
is,
do,
the
then if I
question
don't.
is, when is it good for us to tell you?
Yeah.
during sex. I would say during.
Oh, so he's stroking it and you're just like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, this
not
is
just
direction.
sucks. It's like
Give
give
direction.
direction. Yeah, just give direction.
Like a little bit more to the left.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just give direction.
Okay.
You agree with that?
Yeah, because it's like that's the best moment for real.
Yeah.
Because
Why is during the best moment?
Because practice makes perfect.
yeah, it's like,
So you can't practice.
So you
something
in
that's-
training?
Yes. So you're in training.
Put me in, coach.
It,
I swear for real.
Oh my God.
After I be like,
Yeah.
okay, man.
Why?
I about to say I had to tell you. Yeah. I think during sex is the best answer for real. It's like why?
Oh,
Why not?
Laverne Janae said conversation needs to be always BDA, before, during, and after.
I agree.
So
there's no moment.
tell her what you want before, tell her what you want during and after.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
you a full-time coach.
Okay.
You know, you're always coaching, on and off the field.
That'll work.
No, I agree with that.
I agree with
Okay,
that,
y'all
too.
want to do another quick question?
Practice makes perfect.
I think y'all like that. You want to do another quick question?
You want me to read out loud in front of everybody?
Yeah,
I got
man.
a small one. Cut this in half. Hold on.
Like the songbird.
What non-sexual act is considered cheating and why?
Oh, you the specialist on me. There you go.
I feel like a non-sexual act that's considered as cheating would be anything you don't want your significant other to know about.
You took the words out of my mouth.
For the reason that obviously if you don't want them to know about it, then there's something that y'all have to come together and figure out how to make it better. Because you will look for it in somebody else, which will ultimately lead to cheating.
Hello.
Amen.
No, okay.
That was literally my
That was
answer.
really a
Yeah.
quick question.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Right, I can't spell.
You took the cake,
Straight to
baked
Because
it,
like you said, I
pushed
was
it back
special.
out. Okay.
He was the expert.
I told you he was an expert. I thought you had that one.
I knew he was going to answer it. I knew he was
Look at
something
another
like
quick
to hit
question,
that
Will.
before.
It's my turn.
Yeah.
I can't spell y'all. Don't look at my own first time.
I agree.
I agree.
Oh, man,
Agree.
it's a relationship question, and it's long.
Hey, 16s is out my hand, y'all. That's another Richmond, Virginia artist. Shout out to him.
Well, since we're giving out shout outs, Darlene, I saw you logged on. Hey,
Oh,
Darlene.
yeah. Hey, darling.
What's up, Darlene?
Hey, Asian girl.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, Josh. We got you. We got you. Hey, Asian. Can't call you Josh on camera. Your mama might kick my ass. You said what?
Quick question
QQ5,
five.
yeah. If you get into a relationship and have things around that remind you of your ex, would you get rid of the things or keep them?
Keep them.
Is
Yes,
it disrespectful to them, or why not?
It's not disrespectful.
It depends on what it is.
Y'all about to,
Hey,
I'm about to write
Smooth.
the same thing.
Why?
Hey,
And
Raven.
it depends on the person.
Hey, Portia.
Hey, Petey.
But like real
I don't feel like it's disrespectful because what you say? What you say?
I said, I don't know why I got this question.
Okay, so how do you feel first?
Right.
It's tough. I don't know. All right, how I feel on this question, I feel like you gotta just get rid of it because that person that you're dealing with now, they're gonna feel a certain type of way.
So you mean to tell
And-
me?
And when you tell them the reasons, they're not gonna understand.
They're not
So
gonna-
you
never
mean to tell me
They're not gonna
that.
understand.
They
it.
never do.
you dating Keisha
Mhm.
and Sarah bought you the new J's? You gonna get rid of your Jordans because it came from your ex?
Damn.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And then
Okay.
you
I've done it before.
That's why I said
yeah.
it depends on what it is.
I have done it before, so
It
yeah.
depends on if you
I
still
gotta
have
say,
feelings
yeah.
for that ex.
I got rid of my Jordans before.
I asked this to be on that dating.
Yeah,
because
I was gonna ask about my J. I was like,
looking cute with the
okay. And take a whole Instagram post.
Oh,
nigga.
shit.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, the
brings
rest of
another
your day.
question. Do y'all think material is more better than the actual person, the actual situation that you're dealing with?
Yeah, that's where
No.
the difference come from. Because the material things, yeah, I've been in relationships and material things someone did for me as an ex did for me. Okay, yeah, granted, I took it, whatever the case may be. I've done things for other people that I've done for my exes. But when it comes down to the person, their personality, the things that did right, did wrong, then that begs a differ there. Like, if you're doing the same things that my ex did wrong that led us to our mutual agreement or whatever reason why we broke up, then yes, then there's something we have to talk about. And then that begs on a person that it matters on the person. If the person's willing to change that because this is a problem I had in my past relationships, then it's something that needs to be addressed. But people don't always understand that, because once you tell them why, they're like, don't compare me to your exes, X, Y, and Z. It's like, I'm not comparing to my exes. This is what drove them to be my ex. And people don't always understand that.
Okay, so here's something that sweetens the pot. You have a kid, right? You have stuff from their prior relationship with their kid's parent. And then you have your new relationship. You get rid of stuff. Because I know personally, I have a t-shirt that me and my first child's father have with our faces on it. The t-shirt is now my son's shirt. I'm not going to get rid of it because it's a memory. Like, you can't erase history. So why am I throwing away history just to satisfy a new relationship? The shirt means nothing to me. He means nothing to me. It's not that serious. I feel like it's a point of maturity for me. That's how I feel. Because I'm not going to tell you, throw away your shirt or your jeans or your watch or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that serious to me. Are you still dating this person? Are you still talking to this person? Are you still entertaining this person? Like, what is it that's, you know what I'm saying, serious?
I think it's also depends on what the item is. Like, so far we've been talking about stuff like, J's or like clothing or things like that. But what about stuff like sentimental things? Like, you got love letters from that person, or you saving, or you saving like little like trinkets and things that they gave you. Shit that like doesn't have material, like monetary value, but has sentimental value mostly. Now, stuff like that, I think is more iffy. Because it depends on how, in my opinion, it depends on how your new boo feel about it. Right. Like, if it really bothers you that much, then I'll get rid of it. But some people think that if you don't get rid of it, it means that something's still there.
Laverne Janae said it's different if you have kids. There are things you keep, but respect the other person's feelings too.
Exactly. Because they're still in your life.
Before that said something too, I agree with too.
What did it say?
They said basically get rid of it, make space for your new book. That's dope. And that's true too.
Yes.
But like she said, I just want half on the TV, a 70-inch TV with my current relationship.
Oh, nigga, he walking without the TV.
But
and me and my new nigga gonna watch.
But every time you say me and my new nigga want to watch TV.
That's a material thing.
That's a material thing. We're literally one half on the TV. That's the 70-inch TV sitting in my living room. So God forbid anything happens to our relationship. But at the same time, that same person I'm dealing with a relationship with literally dipped out for 3 days, no communication at all. And that was literally
What the fuck was he on, a hiatus?
Literally was on a hiatus. And that right there,
I need some answers.
Ended two of that situation, and I told my significant other, that situation ended 2 of my relationships.
Yeah.
1, they actually were out cheating. Right. 2, they had nothing to say of what they were doing. And
but see, let me tell you this though. At the same time,
and for you to be the third person to
bring
do
your past into your future.
That's 100%.
And it's a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword.
You can't put what you went through on him and make him feel like he's guilty for what he's doing, being that might not be what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. So I actually got a real life situation.
Oh.
Well,
let's get raw. Let's get raw.
It's in the past, but it's a real life situation. So I just want to bring it up. So I think maybe it's 2019 now. I think in 12, 2013, yeah, maybe. When I was working at a previous job, like this shorty, right? She drew. My name is WillGetEm, so she actually took her time and drew this skits with my name, rap name, and just like details, real detail.
It was fire.
Yeah, I still got it today. So my shorty, she still brings it up time to time. Yeah, I think I should get rid of it, just to say fuck it, or just be like, because I feel like it don't matter.
So, his comment made me feel like we didn't really get rid of Smurf. It felt like, that field session just now. He brought us into his therapy session. Now, but I feel like it's not really a sentimental value to you. It's just like, this is like a plaque. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like an honor, like a crown.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? You're an artist. Somebody portrayed artwork. I feel like you should keep it. I feel like she should just respect it, and she should build a bridge and get the fuck out.
What I did with past relationships, I have stuff that my exes have grown for me, did for me, and I put it on my top shelf in my closet, and I see when I go to my closet, oh, someone made this for me. Okay, put it back, top shelf of the closet. I see it next time I, discover it.
I would say the same thing. I've done stuff like that. I've had situations like that, but I didn't get rid of it. No, I just kind of like put it up.
Yeah, put it up. And you'll see it when you see it, and you put it back
up. And then
up,
I was kind of, hindsight, I'm glad that,
well,
I'm glad that I did.
You got a guy that chimed in and help you out, so why not just hide it? But
that's what I'm saying. That's what I did. I just did it. But I'm glad that I did.
But at the same time, I feel like, why hide it? That's him lying.
But at the same time, I'm glad I did because me and my mom not even together no more. So I would have gotten rid of something that was really dope to me.
She was never my shorty, though. Yeah. She was never my shorty.
Oh, then her
well, then there's no sense to it.
She kind of, we had
like I said, build a bridge and get over it.
Right.
LeVon said, put it in a sacred place.
Okay.
Thank you, Mom.
Like, mount it and frame it and put the bitch on the wall. Tell her to get over it.
And
I put it away so I see it.
I have
again so I see it again.
I have stuff like that, and I framed it. And like, if I meet a new guy, like he'd be like, "Yo, this is dope." And I know, right? I don't tell him where it came from.
Yeah.
Because it's not sentimental to me. I
But
just
it's
thought
really like, why am I getting
that?
it was like a picture. We got drawn like the two of us, but we were like far enough apart. Well, I just folded that bitch and framed the part that's just me. Because I was like, this shit is cute. Like, so I kept it. I still have it.
But that's another part to
I'm over that relationship.
Answer his question. Because it's just like, yo, like, if I start dating somebody and I got a t-shirt and a pair of jeans and a car and all that, nigga, I'm not telling you who the fuck on my title. Like, that ain't your motherfucking business. You ain't paying my car note. You ain't paying this insurance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like, why does that matter to you? What should matter is who I am, getting to know me. You know what I'm saying? Let's build. You can buy me another car, you know?
Question, team. Do y'all believe in soul ties, though? Y'all ever heard of soul ties?
Definitely.
I've heard of it, but I've never gotten into it. What do you mean by soul ties?
I don't know. I heard like when you do certain things to certain people, them things carry on later on in life.
Like it'll come back around full circle, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I literally just told my ex.
So basically, karma.
Yeah, I told my ex the same thing.
Yeah,
Devon, you are retarded.
Every person.
Yeah, you see that?
I'm sorry.
So if you frame,
you have to use that word.
So no. Frame that word for him. Retarded. If you frame, if a man frames some panties, is it okay as long as it's
some panties? Really, Vaughn? We're not even going. We're not.
Okay.
Well, I'm not.
Portia says it all depends on the maturity of your partner, which goes in line with what I've been saying.
Exactly.
And how they handle their insecurities. 100% sure. 100% right. I mean. 100% right. Because I mean, me personally, I feel like I'm just secure in myself, so I don't really care what your ex bought you.
So if you insecure,
personally, I don't care. Or what a girl at your job made you a penny. Okay.
I ain't gonna lie.
Did you go out on a date with her? Did you like you?
If you frame
y'all was smashing.
I'm gonna buy you a better frame.
Over now.
But this was inside your
ex wants you that. I'm gonna buy you a better frame. Hold on, let's go to Tiffany's.
Yeah. Shit like that.
To and from work?
Yeah.
And your check went to your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Your check went to your girlfriend?
It did.
Your body went to your girlfriend?
It did.
Oh, well, what the fuck her problem?
Exactly. Like, what's your man?
Hope she ain't watching the round table.
It's an old issue.
It's bad shit.
It's an old issue. Old issue.
Yeah. Karma do come back around. I believe in that.
You reap what you sow?
Right. So y'all ready to pick our first topic? Yeah. Pick a topic. I guess I'll pick.
For the good one.
I hope so.
I hope it's
Oh, we're about to get political.
Oh, Lord.
Switch up the groove. Civil rights. Yes. Are there equal opportunities for people of all races in the United States? No. How far do we still need to go to ensure equality? I don't think it's a ruler to measure that. What constitutes a fair and ethical United States immigration system?
Ooh.
I think that it's really unfair to call yourself the land of the free, but it's not a land of the free.
depending on who you are.
Yeah, I feel like the only people, I'm not going to say that because that's going to seem racist.
Well,
I have a white best friend.
And we like to touch touchy subjects on the round table discussion, just to let you know. We want you to be uncomfortable.
I have a white best friend, and when I went to go finance my first vehicle, having substantial bills in my name already, having a credit card in my name already, having my credit established, I was only being able to finance about $15,000 on financing a vehicle. My white best friend just told me about 3 days ago, the vehicle that she's currently driving, literally she owes about $22,000 left on her vehicle, and my vehicle's only worth $11,000. And I was just like, wow.
Well, so you think she got her vehicle really, due to her color?
It's proven. It's proven.
Well, a comedian said that the clear people,
it was just like, wow, you
they're
owe
born with a higher credit score.
And she had her vehicle for a year now. I only had mine for a year and a half, and I only owe $4,000 left on my $11,000 vehicle, but she got approved for over $22,000 because that's all she owes this debt. And I was like, wow.
But so yes, did she have credit cards and stuff?
No, she had no bills substantial to boost her credit.
You know what I hate though? I really hate the whole.
And we had a whole conversation. She's my best friend.
I hate that shit.
And we had a whole conversation about it. She was just like, wow, damn, Quan, that's messed up. And I was like,
did y'all go to the same place?
No, she wants a haul. I got his card in my wallet and he printed off his own computer.
You said
she got a Honda. She wants the KC Honda and everything else to get her stuff.
So she went to a big dealership and
she went to a big dealership and I went to a small dealership.
That could make a difference though.
I understand.
It may not be a race thing.
Okay.
I hate when I
understand it couldn't be a race thing, but it is.
I get where you're coming from, but I hate the
just
whole.
Like it's proven that females get paid less than males. Just a lawsuit going on with whomever just this week that males were getting paid more than females.
But that's one thing that I want to change.
It's seen.
I hate the whole.
It's not like it's he say, she say. It's literally shown that white people have a better credit score. That women get paid less. Women get paid less than men do.
So when your daughter comes, you're about 9 months now. So when your daughter gets here,
about 9.5.
9.5.
You need to have a baby.
So, you got a birthday plan?
You'll be surprised.
Okay. Well,
it's gonna be one
you should put that your baby's white on their birth certificate.
I mean,
because that's what they gonna look at. They ain't gonna look at their face. Tell them to play online.
Okay.
I walk in there like,
But no, we literally had this conversation.
That is so simple.
And when she told me that, it was like a big. Even though I already knew it as being a gay black male, I already knew this. But when she told me, it was like damn a slap in your face. It was just like wow, like you got approved for that much. And her dad co-signed her first vehicle, and then when she got this one, it was just like okay. She was like, this is really my first ever credit ran to myself type thing. And I'm like, ever? She was like, yeah. I'm like, your cell phone? She was like, no, it was on my phone.
Well, if she had another vehicle co-signed, even if it was a co-sign,
that's going to point towards her though.
That's true. And we had this whole conversation. I financed the vehicle I'm talking about right now for my mother. She has nothing to do with this. Nothing. When that payment is not due, guess whose name it goes on?
Right.
When my credit karma comes through every year, guess whose name that's under? Right. Not my mother.
You can check credit karma every month for free.
You see me?
I'm not
I mean, but it all, all that's under my name. So when her and I was having this conversation, it was one of those, wow, like I already been here, done this. I boosted my credit to where I need my credit to be. It's like this is my first ever credit anything, and she got approved for over $22,000. And it was just like, oh. At a whole real dealership. But it's not my feelings are hurt. It was just a slap across the face. It was just like, wow, so this is really true. Like this really is some real shit. It was like, wow, a white woman can really get better credit just because she's white. Even though I had better credit, even though I had established my credit over the years.
Honestly, I don't know because I went to Ford and I had a pretty damn good deal, and you went to Nissan.
Yeah,
right?
well, my thing. This is my thing when it comes to credit. I think that when it comes to credit, when you are from, it depends on your socioeconomic status of your parents, to be honest. Because what your parents are able to teach you and establish for you is going to dictate where you start off, in my opinion. Like, my parents they're not financially literate as other people may be. Yes. And so because they aren't able to teach me the financial intelligence that I needed, when it came around time for me to do my own thing and start building my own credit, I went off of the things that I was reading. You know, I tried to do the best that I could. And then you rely on your parents as well for, like, advice. Yeah. But you also have to realize that she may have been given different advice than you were. She may have been able to start off differently. And some of it is because of being white, yes. But it's not literally like, oh, because you're white or because you're black or because you're Latina, you're going to start here. It's not a telltale. It's like, I think it's not. It's really not. I think it's more so you can be black and be from a middle-class family and have a different credit score than someone who comes from somewhere who is not.
I can't take it.
Well, I'll tell you this. Hold on. I'll tell you this. Shout out to Katrina Monroe, because I've known her for about a year and some change, and I can tell you this: she's already taught me how to build my kids' credit score at the age of 1 and 11.
I believe it.
You know what I'm saying? So it is about being proactive, so you can set them up for success. So you don't know what her background story is as far as what her parents did behind the scenes.
As being my best friend from
what her parents
school?
did behind the scenes. She told you what the fuck her parents did for her credit. I can't tell you what the fuck my parents did for my damn credit. True. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like,
but to be my best friend, it's like
I didn't know how to.
Bree, you and I are friends. We are best friends.
Yeah.
For you and I to talk every day, and for you and I to collaborate on what goes on in our life, there's certain things that we can sit back and look at.
I'm just saying, well, it's possible. Because, like, for example, you can go get a CD, and I think it's a CD. Mm-hmm. Don't quote me. In your name. And add your kids to it and build their credit. Her parents ain't got to tell her she did that.
Okay.
That's why she started off with that 720. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Unlike you who didn't, because your mama was taking care of the household bills and make sure you had food on your table and clothes on your back. You know what I'm saying? It's a different, it's a product of your environment type situation. You know what I'm saying? That's what you had to do, like you said, on your own.
But it's proven. That doesn't take away the fact that it's proven.
Just hate the whole using your race as a reason why. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just hate that.
You can sit there and hate it all we want, but we are all black.
But it's proven based on circumstances.
It's a factor. It's not a telltale.
Thank you. Like, it's proven based on
yes, I'm serious.
My mother literally raised me as Taquan, you are a black male. You're always going to have to prove what you know.
Yes,
and it's true. I have to prove everything I know. Versus a white man walking in and doing something.
That's different.
And it hurts me to know that black people actually sit here and think, oh no, it's what you can do. It's what you go to school. Is no, you always going to be.
But you're talking about something slightly more broad than just a credit score.
Right.
What you're talking about, absolutely, I agree with you. But I'm talking specifically about the issue that you brought up, which was the credit score.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that specifically. But in a general sense, absolutely.
So you stand in front of somebody at a dealership, and y'all both said y'all brought y'all cars from a dealership. So you sat in front of somebody at a dealership. Well, I brought my car from the dealership too. But anyway, and they see that you're white, and you're pushing this stuff, pushing this paperwork. You need to go the extra mile for you if they would for a barber. A white woman sitting right in front of them.
If I had the same credit score, it don't matter. I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Not really.
No problem.
Now, but in
agree to disagree, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like people, my problem with it is that black people use that shit as a crutch. Straight the fuck up. They use it as a crutch. Like, oh, well, Sally has a better opportunity than me. No, you get out and you grind and you do what you gotta do. Yeah. Granted, maybe Sally's dad set her up, but that's not Sally's fault. You know what I'm saying? That's not stylish fuck.
I
What are
feel
you
what both of
doing?
y'all saying.
You clean. He's clean.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Go ahead,
Let's
go.
see how you see the restaurant real quick.
Oh.
I do feel what y'all think.
You know what I'm saying? I just don't
I
agree
mean,
with
this was
that.
a whole conversation over this whole thing. It was just like, wow. She was like, I don't understand why. Like, we literally had a conversation. She didn't understand why.
So how do we ensure equality?
It's almost impossible.
I mean, this has happened ever since my mother's.
That's exactly what I said, Michelle.
45 years
And
old.
Michelle said credit score starts with learning how to be financially responsible. Amen. If you can learn how to manage your money, you can manage that credit score.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I had a better credit score than my friends.
Yes.
I started building my independent credit. I started doing that before that's why I was able to finance a vehicle.
Well, kudos.
I mean, and for her to sit there and was like, we had a whole conversation about it. It felt like it was just a slap in my face, like,
well,
wow.
don't be
mad. It was
mad.
like, this is really true. Like, this is really happening to
Be
me.
proud of your accomplishment.
You know, it didn't bother
be
me
proud
as what
of your
happened in my life.
accomplishment.
It was just on subject. It was just one of those things that was a slap in my face. Like, this is really society. Like, this is really real nigga shit. It was like, wow, like, for my best friend to be a white female.
Well, we didn't answer the question
here and have
at all because it wasn't about your credit score.
Oh. Well, my credit score is like, you know, if you need somebody to co-sign, I'm co-signing shit. Let me stop.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Because none of the questions had
They want
anything
to go sign.
to go. None of the questions had
Going back to the original question.
Yeah, what constitutes a fair and ethical United States immigration system?
Ooh,
that's all.
I mean, not immigration system isn't necessarily bad.
You don't believe in immigration. Trump does.
I'm
gonna say it on camera. Trump does.
He believes in immigration?
Yes, because he wants to build a wall to keep people out.
No, that means he doesn't believe.
That means he doesn't believe in immigration.
I mean, my grandfather was an immigrant, so I definitely believe in
I mean, I don't believe. But why are we keeping people out of country? First of all, God created the earth.
People in your country to.
God created the earth.
Let's be honest. No one here is supposed to be
here.
Exactly. Except the Native Americans.
Exactly.
So
I just want to say Christopher Columbus did not discover America.
No, he did not.
I just want to say that because I'm
unless
really,
you're Native American,
you're
the only person who actually has ties to this land.
Well, my family is from. I have Native American
under different circumstances.
But I'm just saying, like nowadays, it's the country not really taking everybody.
Well, look. On that note, we can just say that they are not equal with all immigrants, Michelle. Yes, we are. We are.
Exactly.
I'm not an immigrant.
And you know something? I will tell you like this. Christopher Columbus stole America. That's exactly what he did. He was a whole thug, and that's just what it is.
He was the OG.
There are no equal opportunities for people of all races in the United States. That I don't agree with that.
Weird. I think it's weird with wording.
It's iffy.
Yeah.
I think it's weird with wording. Okay. Y'all might not like me for this one, but equal opportunity, I believe that there is equal opportunity, but I also believe that everyone doesn't start off on the same spot on the playing field.
Right. You're right.
But there is equal opportunity. Yeah. But a lot of people, particularly those who are not very fond of brown and black people, they like to use the word equal opportunity because it sounds nice. But to be honest, we do have equal opportunity. We all have the opportunity to be able to do what we please, whether you want to go to school, go to college, educate yourself, build your credit score, okay? All of that. We all have the opportunity to do that. And that's what makes America awesome. Oh, God, I almost said that. But that's what makes America different from everywhere else. Right. So, because we all have the opportunity to do it. But when you really get down to it,
I don't know what I was watching, but it was like in China, they don't like girls.
No, they do not.
They don't like the females.
They prefer boys
in China
because men.
So they put the girls out.
Yeah,
and they ostricize them.
Because when a girl gets married, she goes away from the family. When a man gets married, he comes.
Like, how you gonna procreate without a woman?
That's probably why they don't like them. I mean, because it's overpopulated.
They are. That's why you only like.
It's
that's why
overpopulated.
they only like to have one kid or something like that.
But what was I saying? Oh, but yeah. So equal opportunity is a thing. I think is awesome. But at the same time, young black boy from the projects has a very different playing field from young little Tommy who grew up in a mansion. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
definitely.
So how far do we still need to go to ensure equality?
I don't know if we'll ever have equality.
Still need that 40 acres and a mule.
I don't think we'll ever have equality because we all start off on different stages. Now, if we all had a thing where like everybody, once you turn 18, you get X amount of money, X amount of real estate, X amount of, you start off with the same thing like Monopoly. Like in Monopoly, everybody gets $20. You know, like that's the only way it's gonna happen.
I'm not against black people and being successful, but I honestly believe that giving $4,000 to somebody in the hood and giving $4,000 to somebody raised like Richie Rich,
it's still gonna be different.
Definitely. Different environments, different nurture.
That's what I feel like it's never gonna be equal.
First of all, they were taught different.
Because that goes back to what Quan said, in my opinion, about the saving and invest.
Black people
because Tommy, either he gonna try to feed his whole family or he gonna try to feed
and not just that, he's gonna get treated differently, just like Quan said. He gonna get treated differently because of who he is, and he can't change that.
Right.
And that's the part that I said I agree with you on that. When you were talking about the car and everything, I don't think it's most about the credit score, but yes, I do agree that people see you and they judge you and they treat you differently based on what you look like.
Mm-hmm. That's why you need to name these kids names with no more than 3 syllables.
Keep it to a 2-syllable maximum.
Marquise. Ray. That's it.
Max.
You know, you do the clap for the syllables. You know what I'm saying?
You pushing it, Brittany.
Your name is Brittiani, actually, but we're not gonna
that ain't what my mama said.
But that's what she put on your birth
certificate. Mama ain't say that. Mama said
she put it on your
I'm just saying, like, just give them an opportunity because on paper you one person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and most people these days meet you on paper thanks to social media, thanks to the internet.
I want to get paid what I want to get paid and when you get paid. I want to be paid what I
so
get paid.
somebody gonna meet you on the internet first. So if they meet, talk with Nasha, Nisha, Chris, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, oh, this motherfucker is straight from.
That's also why people
the straight projects, and they probably don't got no ambition and no drive.
And that is another thing because
they might rob me, you know. But then, look, it'll be funny. They beat Richard Alexander III.
But I want to take something.
This motherfucker was born and raised in Jackson Ward.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the truth.
And Taquan Bynum is from the West End Shore Park area.
Thank
you. You know?
It's the truth. But what you just said was like literally, I wouldn't get paid what I'm getting paid right now just working at Walmart. They're paying me good.
Okay.
Now, if it wasn't for my for my resume, yes, I don't think I would get paid. But if I was to be Christopher Johnson Bradley Jr.
If your name is Taquan, I don't know what kind of person.
Yes, I would have got paid. I feel like I honestly feel like
they thought you was exotic.
I honestly would feel like I would have got paid more.
You was light skinned.
Yeah, I honestly feel like I would have got paid more.
You walking there with your house and shit out.
Of course, you don't see all this. It must be the smile. It must be the print in the pants. I don't know what it is.
Hey B, thank you for tuning in.
So I mean, it's the truth though. It's like they look at my resume. Yeah, paper speaks louder than words at times, and I feel like if my name was something like Brandon Johnson, whatever, or whatever the case may be, if I had a white person's name,
that's ambition for you. Michelle said it don't matter where you come from. It has to be your drive. I want to get paid just like rich people. I know that's right.
That's not how times work no more though. Like, if my resume didn't speak
my
for
motto
me,
is,
I want to get paid what I got paid.
If they can get money, I can too. Yeah, build your own brand. Work for yourself. Don't work for them. Don't go work for their company.
That's so easy or that's best than say it, but we still work with 12 people ahead of us.
Well,
like, I can't sit here at this table right now and know that I'm 4 people above me and with just my store. And that's not including corporate. So that's nice to be said.
I'm corporate.
I like people to say that, but that's still everyone can say that. Work for yourself and, you know, make your name for yourself. But we probably got like 4 people, 3 people above us. Like, come on. Like, that sounds good, but let's be real. Let's be honest.
So you're saying that realistically you can't build your own company?
I can. And it's not a problem.
I mean, that's a better way to go.
I want to be store manager. I want to be corporate. I want to be CEO.
No, not be store manager. Be store owner.
See,
owner.
Personally,
it's okay. You can just stick with raw talent.
Everybody.
What's your hourly rate? Free? No, we can't work that.
She didn't want to feed him yesterday.
Exactly.
But did you eat? But did you eat?
Off his dad.
You want some of my bank account?
know what's going on.
Wow. I want to see the $15 for that shirt. Even though you look bomb. You know?
It was so
You look
good.
bomb. And you sold one. You know what I'm saying?
It's so general. Like, credit so general, but you just never know what's going on behind the scenes, really.
Yeah.
People out here ruining their kids' credit, putting their kids' name on the light bill and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kid don't got no credit. That's how you have negative 13 credit score. How did that happen? Because your mama was using your
Yeah, I know about that too. I've actually known somebody who mom used their credit and they had to fight with, you know,
The
the
credit
creditors
agencies and stuff.
in order to like get an apartment or whatever because they already had bills in their name and they were like.
Your parents should not be allowed to use your credit. They shouldn't be allowed to have your
But the thing is, if they are allowed, they could do good.
Good.
For you.
But how do you gauge that?
Okay.
How do you gauge that? That's all about.
There is no way to gauge it.
You know what I mean? So, should the kids? The question is, should the kids whose credit score got ruined should it be wiped clean?
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Well, that's
you
what I had
have
to do
to
with my
go
credit.
through identity theft.
I had to do that with my credit.
It's
That's how I
basically
got my
identity
credit
theft.
to where I got my credit.
Did
to.
your parents?
I had to go through
Did
that.
the parents
Yes.
get penalized?
If you
I-
choose to
no.
press charges on them.
You can.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom, for
See,
not
If
doing
you
it.
press the charges,
Yes.
Everything
Why you
that
use my
happened-
credit card information? Why you use my credit information?
Everything
she
that happened
planning
with
to press
me,
charges with her ABV.
it was under before.
Mom ain't using my credit, but it's okay.
He says it's illegal.
It's so legal, like some legal shit. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta,
Yeah, I had to deal with that.
I would think you right to court.
I
You
think
should
that's
use my
messed
stuff.
up, though. You fuck them up before they even get a chance to.
I had Sprint in my name. I would never get Sprint ever in my life. I had Sprint in my name. I had cable bills in my name.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think it's one thing to put your kid's name down as an authorized user on like a credit card to help their credit, but to put them
Oh,
on
they do it
bills.
while you grown. I found I had a water bill on my
On
name.
bills.
That comes to my own house. I was like, oh, excuse me.
Well, you was using the water. I'm joking.
I mean-
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I can't
I'm
leave
joking.
until next October
I'm joking.
because of my damn name being put on shit. Yes.
That's a disadvantage.
You said you did what?
I can't leave till next October because my name was forged on some damn document.
So why didn't you go through identity theft? Okay.
You love your family.
Thank you.
Right.
Like that literally
I'm
was the answer.
sorry.
That's the
Family
answer.
can toxic.
That's the answer right there.
Family can be
Like,
very toxic.
It's a lot of
Family
shit,
can
yeah.
knock you down
It's a
instead
lot
of
of
building you
stuff.
up.
Yeah.
That's getting to a whole nother topic right
Right.
there.
Right.
I would have never signed a lease for this house.
Right.
Oh.
Are we getting personal? Yeah.
We go through a lot.
We're the
We go through a
Dr.
lot.
Dr. Phil segment. Let's
Right. We go through a lot.
back around to you.
How should read twice? I only read once.
Nigga,
You
because
come
it ain't come back around to you.
I don't want to read anyway. I might stutter.
Okay.
He said, I might.
He's thinking about it.
Like we back in the third grade.
Okay.
Dating
Contemplating.
children. Okay, so this is a scenario. You're dating and getting pretty serious. The person you are with asks that when you all get married, that your child be removed from your care.
What?
That's what's happening with me.
No.
Go
What?
ahead.
Question.
I'm dead at, like, I'm serious. Like,
Advice on the situation.
I mean, it's
wait,
real though.
So the
It's real
person
though.
that you are with asks that
That you don't have your child no longer once y'all get married.
She talk about it.
Why?
Shit.
why would anybody do that?
Why
Yeah,
can't
what?
I get a month?
well, with
Yeah,
me,
Why would anybody do that?
with my best friend, the same white girl,
Her
and I
LeBron
act-
James said exit stage left.
so, no, I have two scenarios, seriously. But, with her and I, we're best friends. Granted, this girl, the best friend I'm talking about, she's gonna bury me. I'm older than her, she's gonna bury me, I should pass before she does. I'm talking about this is legitimately my best friend. And we actually went to Planned Parenthood, doctors, everything. I even got my sperm count tested. She got her stuff tested, everything else, made sure her ovulation was on point.
I was playing for a baby.
Yes, we're planning for a baby. Like
Okay.
literally, our baby would probably be about 8 years old right about now. Just some goofy situation happened after that. Long story short, why we never had a baby, I went to go mount her, and I was like, should I wear a condom? And she looked at me, and then she was like,
Time out.
And it's just like, no, we're trying to have a baby. Yes, that's why we never had a baby. You started laughing, and then it just went down, and it was just like, okay, well, this ain't gonna work this month, and then next month we didn't even try no more. We tried for like 3 months, and then that was the last time that we started laughing. It was just too funny.
Baby with a condom.
It was a question, and we started laughing at each other. But that's why.
Changed my life.
Literally. Back to the situation.
I don't know where I go from here.
Back to the situation. Back to what it was. That's long story short.
He's trying to bring us back around the curve.
Now, let's go back to what the situation was. Now, the situation was, would it be okay to get rid of the child or whatever the case may be? It was one of those situations that, okay, we're just friends. We want a child. She don't have children. None of my best friends have kids, but Bree. Bree's the only one out of my friends that have kids.
And I got 2.
Out of 5 of my friends, Bree's the only one that has kids. And so it was like, well, what if something happens with us as being best friends, and what's going to happen with this child that we have?
Michelle said, "Don't give you nothing else to drink."
I mean, this is true. This is life story. Like, this is a life story. I'm growing up. This is some shit. So it was just like, well, hopefully you have twins. You know, hopefully you figure something out. Hopefully we can part amicably with this situation. As for me, dealing with a child, if I was to get a female pregnant and dealing with my wife and my child, I would not want to deal with my child between the ages of about 4 years old to about 12. I don't think, personally, I can handle it. I would not be able to handle it. I don't care what no one says.
Just happened. That's
I'm
just
getting
another left turn.
I already finished that situation.
I'm just listening.
We don't know who's going to take the child. My best friend and I, we don't know who's going to take the child.
Okay.
And this y'all planet as a fuking unit?
Well, that kid gonna be for 8.
They don't even
Hey, let them talk.
That's how you missed the whole thing. Y'all missed the whole part with my best friend and I. My best friend.
No, we're recording.
Hold on. I'm gonna
You ahead through me.
What I just said was, my best friend and I, it was one of those like, what if we're just best friends? You know, if we're not gonna.
So this is a conversation.
This is literally like something we're playing. Like, okay, we decide we want to raise this child together. What if something happens between us? Just like any couple. What if something happens between us, as us being best friends, as us being parents, as parents together? What's going to happen? Who's taking this child? Of course, she said, I'm taking the child. I said, I'm taking the child. Well,
y'all couldn't come to
and we couldn't come to the agreement. As this being friends before the child was even here, while we're still planning on having this child, it won 3 months of us sexually being interactive to have this child. Granted, the reason why we didn't have it was what I just said earlier. But it was one of those, what's going to happen if, since we're just best friends and still to this day, and me being 28, her being 28, and we still don't have children. We couldn't part amicably even before the child was even here.
Just won't make
Okay, that was the situation. Now the next situation, me getting married, me settling down, I don't think personally I can deal with my child being 4 years old to 12. I'm gonna be that parent whooping my child's ass and daggone middle school, like you know better, like, cause that's the way I was raised. My mother, I'm sorry, my mother beat my ass. That's just what my mother did. That's why everybody else in their mama like me. That's why everybody else in their mama see me like, oh hey Quan, how you doing? He's well mannerable. He's respectful. He's this,
I didn't think that when I first
my
met
mother
you.
did that. A lot of people don't. I got 2 full drinks sitting in front of me. People tell me to stop drinking, but they
But no, I get what he's saying though. Like, for real. I get what he's saying.
Yeah, it is. He said for 4.
It's a lot of different strokes for different folks. Like, you know, some shit ain't meant to be, you know?
Don't have a baby then.
Yeah, it's like some stuff just, you gotta let go. You gotta let go of stuff.
You don't have kids though.
You gotta let
go.
Bree can say that. Bree can say that. Vaughn can say that.
And she's serious.
Some real shit he going
Brittany, I have a daughter. She's 1 year old. She'll be 2 in January.
From what I see out of children between 4 and 12, it's like,
he tried it though.
I have a daughter.
Like, I'm in someone's jail cell.
I have a daughter.
Especially when you have a little boy.
Okay, I just understood it. Never mind.
I'm gonna be in someone's jail cell.
I understood everything Quan was saying.
See,
I didn't
what?
understand
If
the
it's
question
like
in
me
general.
dating a dude who got a kid, I'm not gonna tell him to get, you know what I mean, get rid of his kid.
They're gonna be at boarding school. That's what I was telling you. They're gonna be at
I'm not gonna tell him to get rid of his kid or a relationship. I'm just not gonna date him. I mean, I know what I mean. Why would I tell you to get rid of your child? I wouldn't think less of you as a person. If you were just like, oh, to get you kids because I want this person. Like, how you?
I would have loved it.
I'm just not gonna date somebody with kids.
He be in boarding school though.
Every month.
Tough situation.
I just wouldn't. I don't know why would you do that to somebody. Make somebody lose their child in order to be with you. Just don't date somebody. That's like I don't want to date nobody with kids.
Yeah.
And I don't have any children.
I can't.
That's your prerogative, but it's not realistic
can't
in
date
2019. I just want to let you know.
The
The
older
older
you
you get, that's gonna get real.
Well, I got
Yeah, it is.
But see, it's
Because
different.
a lot of people have
I
kids.
used to say the same thing until I was like
a lot of people have
23.
kids.
When I turned 23, I threw it out the window.
I still can't.
Please
do
let
that.
me be more
I was just,
different. I don't want to be. I don't want to be a stepdad.
you know.
It is.
So once I get to 23 and date,
When I was 18,
and I date older people,
By
so
23,
it's
I have-
like,
That's a case by case
I can't
situation.
really-
Because with my mother,
but I left.
I don't
when
want
my
to be my
parents
age.
divorced
or
and when I was
my
8 years old and my mother dating with kids, we were mature. My mother beat our asses. My mother didn't play no games with us. We were mature people at our age.
What does beating have to do with maturity? So if I hit you,
Back to
mature,
the conversation.
That's
No, it's a legit question.
Yeah, that's
I'm
my
asking.
That's your
My-
experience.
my-
I'm not
asking
validating
legitly.
it.
I know
asking.
people my age
Like-
that just nowhere near act the way I act. That can be in your door like I did yesterday.
And you
I
say
like
that's because of the
his
lack
period.
of spare the
Fair the rod. Yes.
I don't think
I
so.
was
I
asking
got
what
to
you
be
want.
PG.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I ain't want you to get
You
offended.
But
can
with
just-
my
that's how
mother,
I'm raised.
it was one of those things that she had a boyfriend that legitly didn't like
So the question is,
Because
first
she
of
had
all,
kids.
Michelle said, if you date anyone that don't like your kids, you don't need to be dating.
me. Exactly.
Amen, church.
That's why I couldn't understand
Point
the
blank.
question, Michelle. I was
Because
why would you even ask somebody?
I put that question in the
Exactly.
pot, and I would say that because it was a scenario that I read on Facebook one day, and it was saying that basically this girl was dating this guy,
Oh, I think that
and
was
then he
something.
proposed, and he basically told her, "You need to give custody to your baby daddy." And she was asking the public,
Should she do it?
should she do it? What should she
Hell
do?
no.
And her baby daddy wasn't even active in her kid's life.
The fuck?
So where the kids gonna go?
I mean, you're choosing
I
that
mean,
person
out
over your
of her
child, the life
option.
you brought into the
Because that's
world.
what her new
They kid ain't
nigga
asked to
said
be
to
here.
do.
And
But also,
Delete
I'm
them.
And the reason why-
this goes back to people in relationships. How you gonna be in a relationship with somebody y'all never discussed this?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, somebody proposing to you.
But people
y'all
do
supposed
that.
to already had this
But people
conversation.
do that. People
Y'all
do
should have
that.
already have discussed this, set expectations of where
Yeah,
this is going,
right.
what everybody think this is going to happen.
Each
Okay, so
kid's
if we
wrong.
do get married, what's going to happen with this?
Mhm.
That should have already been said and done. That's why the question didn't make any damn sense to me. Because I'm like, how?
Yeah, but people don't have
When
no,
we get married.
people don't have no pre-dating conversations. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So
People
everybody
don't have them
smashes.
conversations that's like, okay, like I don't think our generation. I can say our generation because I'm an 80. I'm not gonna tell you my age. So
She an
I'm
80s
old
baby.
enough.
Just put it like
I'm
that.
old enough to know to have certain conversations before I get to a certain point in a relationship.
Right.
But
I ain't about to
most
waste my
people
time.
are not there because they're having babies before it's time for them to even think about even
Stop having
possibly
kids
having
without being
babies.
in a stable
You know what I'm saying?
situation.
So in those situations where you've grown up before your time and you're losing lessons in between. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Slow
then
down.
you're not asking these questions and you're so in puppy love.
I get it, yeah.
You drunk in love in my Beyonce voice.
I guess
You
you're
know,
young and dumb.
and then you don't address those things, and then you're playing the field, and then you fall in love, and then you end up in this situation where the girl's engaged. Well, he asked her to marry her, but then told her the stipulation.
That would have been the end of the damn relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That don't make no
We
damn
wouldn't be
sense
together
to
no
me.
more.
Mm-hmm. Especially if we can't.
And the baby daddy won't even there either.
Can we just agree that we don't know what we doing, basically?
No one does. No one does.
We
I mean,
all just stumbling
My
around
mother
in the
used to
dark.
tell me that all the
Right.
time.
Yeah, we all just trying to
We
figure
try
it
to
out.
figure it out,
Yeah.
right? Exactly.
I mean, I
You
feel
gotta
like
think of the
relationships,
situation,
honestly, I hate when people be like, well, this is the way it's supposed to be. Because
There is no set thing
I
that
have
works
a
for
blended
everybody.
family. You know what I'm saying? I am I don't like to say stepmom, but
Yeah, you
an
got-
additional
yeah.
guidance
Right.
to 5 kids. I'm
Right.
additional guidance to 5 kids. Because my role is to be a parental figure, an adult, an example, to 5 kids that I did not give birth to.
Mhm.
And he is the same thing for 1.
Right.
And then we are co-parents to 1. And
y'all
I
like
feel
the
like
tri-parent, okay?
They got a whole blended family
Disrespectful.
situation.
we got a whole blended family situation. So we got, hold up, I said 5.
We all got to mature with the situation.
Like,
Yeah, that's right.
You don't want to raise the coach.
Shit, I got
that.
you know, so
You
gotta use your fingers.
you have these other women's feelings and emotions. You have my baby father's feelings and emotions and stuff.
There's a lot of people involved.
And right, it's a mixed in part of art. You know, but it's like it's new and different and it's challenging. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like you gotta know how to maneuver it. And it's like I'm not here to overstep my bounds. I'm not here to step on nobody's toes.
Communication.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about communication. It's all about building. It's all about the kids.
And it's all gonna be.
And a lot of times, that's where I feel like our generation get lost.
Right.
And they get caught up in feelings and emotions. And it's not, life is not a feeling factor thing. It's not. I know, right?
We might
Oh,
need a whole nother
Lord.
topic,
Oh, Lord.
honey.
I'm just saying, it's not a feeling factor thing. So it goes to you saying like, oh, it's about little Johnny. It's not about me.
But that's when you're raising kids, especially nowadays, because
period.
It's so common that everyone is not with the mother or father of their child. I mean, you gotta also realize that it's all about the welfare of the child. It's all about the kid being the important.
They're not putting the kid first.
You gotta put the kid first. But I mean, people also get lost in their own emotions, and people got unresolved stuff going on in the relationships. It's a whole.
Don't get another one.
This one like kind of like turning. I can just say this. I always commend me and my son's father's relationship because unlike most baby mama, baby daddy situations, it's like he's honestly like my best friend. Like legit. Like he's really like my best friend. Like I could go to him and tell him that my whole world is crashing outside of my son and he's gonna be there as a friend. Strictly platonic for me outside of my son because my mental health and wealth and well-being also affects my son. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm there for him too. If he's having a mental breakdown, I might tell him like, hey, get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? But it's, you know what I'm saying? It's out of like, you know, we got to keep it together because we got this human being that we're raising. You know what I'm saying? And I want him to hang out with my fiance, and I want him to, you know, we can all have drinks together and stuff like that. Because it's not about our feelings and emotions. It's about my kid who is happy with his added family. With his added brothers and sisters, with his added parental guidance, with his added grandparents. It's all about my kid.
The Bible says you'll have many mothers.
And when you set yourself aside,
I don't need no more. Don't give me no more. But
it's growth. When you set yourself aside, you said what?
I said the Bible says you will have many mothers and fathers. Just don't give me no more. I'm good on mine.
I'm about to sign off.
I should not with her.
I don't do step parents. I'm
not gonna be your parent no more.
Well, you are different. Like I always said, if I said my parents got married to somebody else, they're not my step parent. You're just my parents, husband or wife. That's just me. I've never been one for step parent. That's another reason I don't want to be a step parent myself. I do not want to be a step parent.
That's not fair.
You don't want to be. You would
I
never
do not want to be a step parent. That's why I want to date somebody like we have a family together. We raise a family together. You know what I mean? I'm not
gonna say that's not realistic because it can.
I know plenty of people my age, older than me, who don't have any children.
Yeah,
you know, there are plenty of people. So it's not common because I've been having kids out of high school.
People. She don't know about 5 people outside of us.
Everybody's different, you know. Everybody's different. I will say for me, I didn't feel that way at all. But like, I didn't feel that way. Well, okay, first of all, the step parent situation I can't talk to because my parents are still married.
My parents were divorced by the time I was 5 years old.
Yeah, see, that's
my parents was divorced before I was 1. 2.
And our parents, our fathers were brothers
together.
So,
but I will say, I was always open to being someone's stepmother.
I do not.
But I'm the type of person where...
That's shocking, though.
I was a disrespectful child, though.
You're so young.
I was a disrespectful child. I'm gonna be honest.
Let me tell you something. No, because...
So, because you got multiple baby mamas, she should have been open to being somebody's stepmama? I'm not understanding how that works.
You can learn from somebody else's life.
You can.
I've learned from
But I don't think
that's why I don't want to be a step parent.
no
That's why I don't want to be a
the
step
reason
parent.
why you were open.
It has
Okay,
to do with
alright.
That's why I like that.
That's all I had to say right there.
We don't have a lot of people in our family who got married
And stayed
married
together.
to one person or only have kids with one person. Some people in our family can be say only have kids with one person.
Yeah.
Or married that person, had kids. And that's what I want. I want to be married to one person, have all my children with that person. You know,
You got me
live
over here trying to
and
think
grow
about
together.
who the hell.
I'm sitting Uncle Heavy. Kudos to them. They only had all their kids so together. They've been married, you know.
And they got
But-
5. They got a tribe.
Yeah, but they're all theirs. You know what I mean? They don't have, it's not stepmom, stepdad. I don't ever want
Well, all you gotta do is, even if y'all break up, y'all just go back and procreate. And then break up and go back and procreate.
No.
And
I
then
want a
break up
stable
and
household.
go back and
I
procreate.
want to be like,
I'm just saying, that's an option.
Different outcome for the kids.
That's an option. We need to take a break
Yeah, so
because we've lost.
what we're gonna do is, apparently our guys decided that they needed their own intermission. So
we'll be right back.
we're gonna let MF Youngster take us out, and we'll holler at y'all in a minute. Tune back in, please.
I'm not stepmother material. Because I'd be like, look at your kids. Put it off. They're not bad. I'm like that though. But
Hey y'all, welcome back. Shout out to Real X giving us life.
Yes.
Yes. So, Taquan, let's pick another topic. So we're gonna start off with that one.
It's upside down.
No shit. I keep telling you the bowl line at the top.
That's what it goes?
Yeah. I'm done. Keep it
Let
on
me
here
tell
for how
y'all
many
about my
months?
Mr.
Keep it on here for how many months?
Bitter baby daddy / baby mamas.
Oh Lord.
How do you deal with a baby mother or father that can't let go and use the child to create drama? What are co-parenting boundaries? What tools do you need to make co-parenting easier? So what do you deal with baby mama or baby father? Yeah, how do you deal with baby mothers or baby fathers that can't?
It's just say get rid of them. Just throw them in the trash.
I would love to read this by myself.
Oh, I'm sorry. First he couldn't read, now he need to read alone.
Let's make this a group session.
You ain't hear from me.
Here we go.
You ain't hear from
But
me.
seriously, bitter baby daddies or baby mamas, how do you deal with a baby mother or father that can't let go and uses your child as to create drama?
So how do you deal with them? I mean, you about to have a child, so
I don't.
you need to know.
I don't have this situation.
I do. Jesus.
Who at the table deals with baby mamas or baby daddies and things? You? Well, do you deal with your baby mama?
I can't speak on this one. I'm quiet on this one.
So you with your baby mother?
Huh?
Are y'all together?
Yeah.
He said,
Oh,
huh.
okay.
He said, huh.
Because I didn't know.
Is you
Oh,
together?
then that's dope.
Yeah, that's dope. Amazing. So you got age goals going on. You got age goals.
God is great.
No, that's
okay.
That means
I personally deal with it, and it's a headache because it causes problems. And the thing that irritates me the most about it is that it causes problems with the kid. Like my situation causes problems with the kid because the kid is fine. Children, like
that.
Yeah, you know they deal with stuff differently. So it's like when she inserts herself, then that's when the problem comes in. It's not really, the kid don't like me, or or whatever.
I mean,
it's more so, what if the kid don't like you?
Yeah, but with children, it's like as long as
girl.
you and the kid have been able to establish a relationship. I mean,
but it makes it harder.
Can I put one thing in? Do we feel like we I just want to ask this because I feel like my daughter, she be taking over sometimes. Do y'all feel like we give our children more power than we should?
Yes, I do.
Yes, that's deep.
I do, and my kid ain't even here. Let me tell you something, okay? Because
don't be doing my nephew like that. He got all the power.
Let me tell you
He'll be Ray
something.
2.0.
I say that
You
because
need to take some of Ray power away.
that's like with my nephews. Okay, so like even in simple situations, which is not related to the baby mama, daddy thing, but some situations like my nephews are very spoiled because everyone loves them and we love on them, and that's the type of family that we are. But like sometimes, like I'm very much a disciplinarian, so like if you wrong, you wrong. Like I'm gonna point you out, and my brother's kids know that, and they know I don't deal with no mess, and your grades better be right. So it's like if you're doing something you out of line, like my parents, of course, they're the grandparents, so like they're very lenient.
Grandparents let kids get away with everything.
They let them do whatever they want to do. Nothing that they do is wrong. When it's the same thing that if I did it, I would have got slapped in the mouth for thinking about doing it. And they do it. They get away with it. But before I thought about doing it, and the same thing. But the thing is, my brother has kids, and he do the same thing. I feel like he is very lenient with his kids compared to how we were raised.
He's a big old teddy bear.
He is a big punk when it comes to his kids. He let them do whatever they want to do. He just love on them,
especially the youngest one.
And I can't. So yeah. So to answer Will's question,
yeah, you run the house.
I think kids nowadays get way too much power, but that's just my opinion. But we're gonna see how I am in 2 months when my kid gets here, because maybe then I'll feel differently about the situation.
I mean, you kind of have a really soft spot for your kid.
I'm gonna have a soft spot. I have a soft spot for my brother's kids, but at the same time,
no. I mean, like, you think you're soft for your brother's kids, nigga? You gonna be putty. I don't think so. I think I will, but I won't. Putty. Because all he gonna do is hit you with that tremble lip.
But that's about you have to stand strong as a parent, though.
You're gonna be you're gonna need to be butter.
You gotta stand strong as a parent. Yeah, let your kids run.
Yes, I'm telling you.
That's how I get to the point where your kids start.
I'm telling you.
We gonna
puppy dog wise. Okay.
I'll
update y'all. I'll update y'all. I don't know about that.
But the grandpa,
I'm not saying that I won't. I'm not saying that I won't allow my child to get away with things, or like I won't be a lenient parent. But at the same time, I feel like I'm very much I'm a correct your action the first time it happens type of person.
But it's still a learn the game type situation too. So it's like you're learning that kid while that kid is still learning you too.
But also I feel like you correct the behavior when it happens. That's how I am. But that's how I was raised.
But kids
and
learn.
So I feel like most likely that is how I raised.
Kids don't just learn from correction; they learn from repetition.
Yes.
And so it's like if you do it, because let me tell you about this brilliant 1.5, almost 2 and 25-year-old.
She run y'all though.
She learns from consistent repetition across the board. So it's not like if she's with Uncle Quan and Uncle Quan says she can eat lollipops all night long. Then when she go with Uncle Quan, she's gonna know, hey, at 9 o'clock I can ask for a lollipop and he's gonna give it to me. Where Auntie Kendra is gonna be like, take your little butt to sleep and that's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And grandma is just gonna be like, oh, she's whining, so we're gonna let her have it.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like they know when to
they can play.
You know,
they definitely know they can play.
I think that also goes to depends on how your child's being raised. Like if you got a whole village raising your kids, that's different from if it's like in your situation, you and the mother of your child, y'all are together. So y'all, in my opinion, I'm an outside looking in, but in my opinion, I would assume that it's easier for y'all to set a routine for your daughter and to be able to establish those things in your household.
Unless the pain is involved.
But you know, but you're in a situation where like my brother and Mz Tink, she got a blended family. So, like, you have other parents involved. So, you have everyone's household is different. You're going to grandma's house. You're going to auntie's house. You're going to mom's house. You're going to dad's house. You're going to stepmama's house. Exactly. You're going to stepdad's house. I don't know, you know. So, you got a lot going on. So, it's harder to establish a set routine.
And you know what the
when
key
it comes
is?
to discipline, let alone anything else.
And I learned it with my son, because he's my oldest, of course. So, what I learned was that you have to be consistent across the board, because kids learn like that. So my son at the age of 5, he's like, oh, well, if I pout to mommy, then I'll get away with it. But if I pout to daddy, daddy's not gonna respond the same. What we had to do was create a united front, and no matter what your response is, you're still responsible, and we're gonna both discipline you. So if you're doing something at mommy's house, you're on punishment at daddy's house.
Exactly.
And we had to stick with that, even now at 11, where he goes to his grandmother's house, his dad's house, my house, my mom's house. Oh, if you can't play video games over here, you can't play video games over there either. Because otherwise, he's like, okay, what he used to do, I hated it. He'd be like, I want to go to my dad's house. You know what I'm saying? And that's because he worked overnight, and his mom and dad would keep him, and they're the grandparents. So they're like, oh, well, he can stay up until this time and play video games, and because y'all let him play video games at home. No, now when he gets on punishment, I call grandma, I call granddaddy, I call daddy, I call auntie, I call uncle, and everybody knows. So no matter who house he goes to, nigga, you still on punishment.
You're still on punishment.
Go ahead.
So now and I think that's the thing about blended families, because when you say blended, when you put, I think about putting stuff in a mixing pot, putting stuff in a blender. So if I'm throwing apples and oranges in there together, they might not mix, but when we turn that button on, they become one.
You gotta turn that button on.
You gotta turn the button on, and y'all gotta become
Everybody don't
one.
turn the button on.
You gotta, because kids.
Okay. Gotta turn that button on. That's the problem.
Kids are freaking geniuses.
Yes.
They are sponges. They soak up everything. They pay attention to everything. And they watching, y'all. They watching. Think about it. The kids are our future.
Yeah.
So therefore, you put in your future in the hands of this human being, and he already got the map. Because he already know how to work it.
Mapping them up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And they watching. So they know, like, okay, I know I can push this button, but I can't push this button. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be united together in order to get that to work. You know?
Yeah.
But
back to the question.
The question was, the second question, which I think we can all discuss even if we don't have that issue, is what are co-parenting boundaries? Like, what boundaries
you can't put your hands on my baby. I wish somebody would. I would.
I feel like first of all, to have co-parenting, before you even get to I feel like before you even get to something like discipline, like what Asia's talking about, I think you first have to establish boundaries as the two parents.
Definitely.
Like you can't be two parents, actual physical parents in the establishment.
I feel like they need to have boundaries first. And what I mean by that is every conversation you have is about your child. It ain't about nothing else. I feel like you need to be able to have boundaries in the fact that if the other person's in a relationship, or one of y'all or both of y'all in relationships, I think that there needs to be boundaries there when it comes to what it needs to be communication, basically.
Like, that's the key to it.
What are your expectations here as far as like dating this person? Okay, because if I'm so like the father of my child, if he's dating somebody, that's his prerogative. You know, that has nothing. His relationship has nothing to do with me. However, at the same time, I may want to voice my expectations as far as when our child gets introduced to her, or things like that. I feel like that is worth the conversation. Now, what y'all decide to do with that and what boundaries y'all set is up, between y'all. But I'm just saying, I think conversations like that need to happen first. Y'all need to have a clear boundary as parents and who you guys are to one another. That's what I'm really trying to say. And then that way y'all can make co-parenting boundaries as far as how you're going to raise your child.
You know why I think co-parenting is hard? Emotions. You can't take the relationship aspect of what we had out of the situation. It's not about what you had. It's about where you are and where you're going.
I think it's also just maturity.
Yeah. And it comes with maturity for some people. Some people, I jumped head first into it. So I had no problem with it. And I can say this, I know for me in my situation, when I decided to date somebody, I date them, I get to know them, my son's father introduced them. Because this is who your kid is going to be around. So out of respect for my kid, not for him, but out of respect for my kid, he's introduced before my kid is introduced. Yeah. Because one thing about being in a relationship and getting to know somebody and, falling for somebody, sometimes we have tunnel vision.
Very true. Like
so
you don't see things that somebody else will see.
The hazards that he could see and he's a guy as well, it's all to my advantage. You know what I'm saying?
And if y'all already have those boundaries set in place between the two of y'all, and y'all have a, strictly friendship going on, it's even better because he'll be able to give you that
information I need,
that perspective,
instead of me taking
and it's not biased or or have some extra intentions behind it.
Y'all listen to the niggas though?
Yeah. Nah. Oh, why are you looking like that? Fix your face.
I didn't say nothing because I've not been in that situation.
I just threw it out there real quick.
What you mean? Do we listen to niggas?
Do y'all listen to what we talking about?
You can feel like you're emotional.
That sound great.
It sounds too good to be true.
Great.
So you saying like if her baby daddy was like when he met her man and be like,
nah. Yeah, but what if he said no and
what if he wasn't about him? What if he was like, nah, I don't like him?
Then I would have to take a step back and reevaluate.
Yeah.
Because his son is affected. Yeah, his son is affected. It's no difference that if I'm dating somebody and I introduce my son and they don't mix. I'm not choosing anybody over my kid. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's no difference because his father is there to be his protector.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So how would that look if I don't pay attention to his protection? I'm ignoring blatant signs for my pleasure. Like, it's not worth it, dude. It's not worth it.
I agree.
So yeah, and then I have mostly male best friends.
Not everyone does
that. I
listen
to guys all the time.
Not every woman. I'm gonna just be honest. Not every woman does that. Not every woman is at that maturity level.
Because they'll be like, "Oh, you just don't like him."
And not every woman is able to separate themselves. Not every woman is able to separate themselves like that.
And that's the key right there.
Not every woman.
Separating yourself.
Right.
Separating yourself.
Right.
And sometimes it's her. Sometimes it's her. Sometimes it's him. Sometimes it's both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes she can't discern the difference when homeboy over here being sneaky on the side. So that's a whole other conversation.
Mixed signals, text messages and Google eyes and emojis.
Exactly. Exactly.
I get it. All right.
Okay.
So
what?
You gotta keep it real, yo.
Yeah.
Everybody keep it real.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, because that complicates the situation, and it don't just complicate it for you and the co-parent, it complicates it for the kid, and people don't understand how impactful that is. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
They see things you ain't never knew they saw. Like, you saw that?
Yes, they
how
do.
And you understood that?
Exactly.
Right.
I saw it.
And with the age of internet, kids are understanding and picking up on stuff a lot quicker. A lot quicker.
Also, I feel like as parents nowadays, everyone doesn't filter stuff through their kids like they used to, in my opinion. No. I have older parents though, but like my parents, I wasn't in a room with them when they have grown conversations. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was grown folk conversation, and there was conversation for the family, and then there was, time when it was focused on us. Yeah. But like to this day, I'm 25, and my parents, and when it comes time for them to talk about something like bills or something that ain't got shit to do with me, they wait till I leave the room. Like I go upstairs or something like that, and then I'll be upstairs when I hear them talk about their bills. We all been in the same room together for the past 6 hours.
And now
they talking about that stuff because that's nothing to do with me. It's none of my business. It's not my place. And so I think a lot of people also don't have that dynamic.
They don't. And
I think that makes a difference.
They cuss in front of their kids. They go off on the baby.
They cuss in front of their kids. My parents didn't drink in front of me until I was like
I can tell you personally.
That shows.
My parents
personally, like one thing that I had to get through to other people when me and my baby father split when my son was 3 months. 3 months, my son don't understand nothing but breast milk. Right. And diaper changes.
And that time.
Yeah, right. So I had to get to the point where I'm like, okay, you don't like his daddy, even at 3 months, do not talk about him. You understand what our situation is, but he don't. He gonna formulate his own opinion and give him the opportunity and the fairness to do that. Like even now, if me and my baby father disagree on something, my son has nothing to do with that. Right. He has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with the. First of all, you put a kid in an adult situation, and that's unfair. Then you're making him choose between two parents, and that's unfair. So it's layers and elements to it that I don't agree with. So it's like if me and my son's father disagree, then we disagree. Between the two of y'all. And that's where it starts and stops. And my family's influence has nothing to do with it. My friends' influence has nothing to do with it. And my kid is left to be a kid and not have to choose
Which
which way to go. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like even down to we had a situation not too long ago where like his dad, my son has a cell phone. So his dad called him and told him he was going to do something. And I politely called his dad and said, the next time you need to call me. End of discussion. Because you don't communicate with the kid. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, you're right, I got you. You know what I'm saying? End of discussion. My son don't even know about that. My son don't even know that wasn't the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? We structure it different because we want his life to be different. We want him to grow up and understand that this is the way things go. So we do it the way we want him to learn to do it. And that's how we go about it.
I feel like a lot of people don't do that.
A lot of people
I feel
don't.
like there's not a lot of intention. Yeah, that takes maturity. I feel like people aren't always as intentional with their parenting.
Yeah.
I feel like
I've
everybody's
heard
just
a
like,
lot of
I'm gonna just
compliments.
figure it out. Like,
I've heard a lot of compliments about it. My mom has 3 baby fathers. Sorry, Mom. She has 3 baby fathers, and she has told me, like, and I didn't understand it at first. I didn't like it, and she was like, I just love you and Brian's relationship. And I'm like, I can't stand him half the time. What the heck do you mean? You know what I'm saying? And she was like, no, like, y'all really do not let outside influences affect y'all, and y'all do whatever is in the best interest of Keith. You know what I'm saying? And it took me a while to understand it, because you're like, okay, he's the ex. You're not supposed to be on his set. You're supposed to be on mine. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was. Yeah, it's mommy, you know? So it's like, team me, you know, but it was just like, it was awesome, because we grew and we learned together.
Mature.
Like I said, we were 19 and 20 when we had my son, so we were just fresh out of high school, beginning college age, you know. So the last question is, what tools do you need to make co-parenting easier? I think the biggest and most important tool is communication.
Yeah.
Direct communication. Not roundabout communication, not that communication where he's supposed to know what I'm thinking and know what I'm feeling and understand me because he didn't know me for X amount of years. Like really communicating, sitting there and talking. What you think? You can kind of mute. I mean, you whole 9.5 months pregnant, nigga. You need to know how to talk to your baby father.
The baby over here laughing in the corner like. I think they're drinking.
Drinking while pregnant. What kind of parenting advice is that?
But she saw what's in my beer bottle, but it's okay.
It's just water.
And my hair smells good.
It is
just water.
It is, literally.
It's just water, y'all. And this is just Kool-Aid.
Little gusher.
Next subject.
I'm dry.
This baby father situation, what you gonna do?
Oh yeah,
I have nothing to say.
You don't have nothing to say. Not your forte. Y'all wanna do another quick question? Or y'all ready to wrap it up?
You want to do a
We can
topic?
wrap it up. Let's do one more though.
Topic or quick question? What y'all wanna do?
Quick
Quick
question.
question.
Look, y'all like
Can I
the
pick
quick
my quick
question.
question this time?
The quick question. You'll pick a quick question?
Yes.
Alright, come on.
He like, look, it's not
Pick a
saying.
quick question.
Mm-hmm.
I know you gonna read a book.
I'm not in the camera. Hold on, start over.
Eye contact.
I got 2, so which one should I pick?
Oh.
Let's see. Let me
The
see.
small one
I mean,
so I can
they-
read it?
they-
No.
I would say the quick question. So.
Ooh, that's a good one though.
Go ahead.
That's a
read
good
it.
one too.
Hold on, listen. Oh no,
I gotta
no.
take that
I'm
one.
putting this one back in there.
No, I like that one.
I did read this one first, and that is a good one. I didn't get to read the one you read.
You gotta
Does
read
marriage
it.
stop cheating?
No! Hell the fuck no!
That's
No!
an easy one,
Whoever
though.
said yes,
That's
they
an
fucking
easy one.
lying. Marriage don't stop shit.
It does.
It does not.
It does.
It does not.
I want to know why.
It's cheating to y'all. It's cheating.
I believe
They think you ain't supposed to be
Marriage.
doing.
Right.
I
What you mean?
believe believe. I'm gonna keep it.
And
I'm
this
gonna keep it
nigga
blunt.
said yes. Devon.
I just believe in blunt. I believe
Marriage
marriage
stop cheating. No,
does
fucking up.
stop
She
cheating.
does, yo.
You don't even worry about the fucking shit on your
Once
wife.
the documentation is done, once it's actually in their head that this is it, this is what you're doing, I do believe.
I'm gonna need y'all to go visit
That
the local
80-20
divorce
still
attorneys
works.
I'm
and see what the fuck they
currently
say
in a
about that.
relationship and we're madly in love and we
Oh,
have
he's so cute.
some trust issues right now. And I believe
Maybe
us-
y'all get married. All y'all trust issues gonna
I
dissolve.
know.
and I do
Thank you,
believe-
Janae.
I
She
do
said no.
believe
Thank
marriage-
you.
You're the same person.
For
You're still the same person you were before her.
Yeah.
Marriage just stop. Oh, now
Hey, Dad.
I never been married, so
You never been married. Yeah, but what's the difference?
Oh,
It's
marriage
a piece
does
of
add up a
fucking
contract.
paper.
All it is is
Like,
add
it
up.
doesn't matter.
for me, for
So now with the
Taquan,
contract, I'm
for
gonna stop fucking around.
for
Are you
Taquan,
serious?
I'm going to live by that piece of paper. When I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship.
So you don't live by your commitment verbally?
I'm not about to cheat. I'm not about to do
Okay,
nothing
right.
to jeopardize
I
my
got a
relationship.
question. I got a question.
I can't speak for
That's
nobody
fair.
else. That's me. I'm going to make sure my relationship prevails at any extent
I got a
because of just being embarrassed, because of having to dealing without you, because of so many consequences.
You so
and
low.
Well, you're
anything
gonna be
else
embarrassed
that
when he
has to
cheat
do
on your
with
ass
any of
because
that.
a piece of
And you know
paper
what?
does not
That's
mean
their law.
they ain't gonna cheat.
I've been cheated on almost every relationship, so it's not
What
nothing
that
that
gonna be dead?
it's not nothing that I'm new
What
to.
that? Come
But
on.
as for me,
But unless
I'm
you
gonna make sure
marrying
my
yourself,
relationship is right.
unless you marrying yourself, that shit stands. Cheating does not stop marriage.
I said
I mean,
yes.
marriage does
Bond-
not stop cheating.
Bond
All
said
that.
yes.
All that.
Will said yes.
I
So-
can't.
Oh my
Black men
Ladies.
don't cheat.
Okay.
Ladies,
Black
thank you.
men do cheat.
Thank
It's
you.
a fact.
Okay.
Take the floor. Go
Black
ahead.
men do
That's
cheat.
bullshit. Y'all do cheat.
I know plenty of them who have.
You had
You
3
know
people in
what?
this room said yes.
This
I know
is the
plenty
thing.
of black
Okay,
men who
so
cheated.
I'm not even gonna touch that. Like,
Don't.
but going back to the actual
Really?
question,
I mean,
The door.
Who my phone at?
Javon, such an ass thing.
Reply to Dustin. What?
Exactly.
Get him the virgin age.
No, this is the
You
thing.
know-
Okay, so from my perspective, I understand where you're coming from, Quan, with like
It's
saying
not just
that,
me. Will said the same thing.
Yeah,
Will
yeah.
said yes.
You're right. So I understand.
I can't wait till you come back because we don't know
I
what the fuck you
understand
mean.
what y'all are saying. I understand. I get it. But at the same time,
It's like, damn, this is real.
people gonna do what they want to do.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
I'm not
So-
taking that for nothing.
I wouldn't say just marriage would prevent
For
cheating
me and my SO,
in general.
if we wasn't
If that was the
get married
case, there'd be a
tomorrow,
lot of divorces that wouldn't have happened.
never happened.
Thank
And
you.
that's
Thank
that's
you.
true. We're not
God,
taking
yeah,
that.
But if it's
However-
shooting, that's not. It can't be. Can't be right.
However,
This is a round table event. This is the 4 people
Yeah,
sitting
say
at this
that.
table. This
You
is
know-
our opinions.
Chris Brown,
We're
that's
not
my
sitting
first
first
there.
of all, we
This
don't
is
get
our-
caught though.
this is
Y'all
our
do. That's the
4
problem.
opinions.
Female
But
has
this is
more
our
opinions.
4
In
opinions.
that there. I
Y'all
mean,
said
not
yes,
that
and we
condoning
said
cheating.
no.
Did
This
you
is
see
our
what it said?
opinions.
According to statistics, women cheat more than men.
But
according
this
to
is our
Dustin.
4 opinions right now.
I'm
My
actually not
opinion is.
surprised. I'm not surprised.
I had to take it because I had to read.
Don't come for
I'm
us.
not surprised. Women do cheat more than men, but women are
I'm
smarter.
mad he commenting like he's not in the room though, y'all. Davon Garden is sitting across the room from me.
Behind the
That's
camera.
him laughing. If you can hear that's him.
Not the ho ho ho.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it sound like.
She said called him out.
They
The
do
guy
get
said
caught.
when we get caught. Yeah, but
We
it's
don't
less
get caught
likely
as
for a
much as
woman
they
to
do,
get
Mom.
caught than a
Let's be
man.
honest.
We
We
smart.
way
We're a
better
little
at
more
this than they are.
strategic
We
than
have
they
we
are.
put his name on the best friend.
Okay, hold on.
I
Okay.
don't cheat.
So
Black men.
why you say
Black
yes?
men
know.
don't cheat, yo.
We know black
We
men
caught
don't
that.
cheat.
We caught
Okay,
that.
so I got that.
We got that bullshit.
I'll be real, yo. I'll be real.
Okay.
Can I be a 1,000?
You could be
Go
a
ahead,
million.
please. This is the
Can I
place
be a
to
million?
be.
Alright.
Oh, Google.
I want y'all to believe this from the bottom of my heart.
Then he knows some bullshit.
Oh,
This is-
it's like-
This is raw talent.
Right,
real
raw
man.
talent, right?
Okay.
We keeping it real.
Y'all got me on tequila. Everything.
How you call it that bullshit?
I'm done.
Y'all have y'all opinion. We
Y'all
have
got me on
ours.
everything right now, right?
1800.
I've been married for 5 years.
Okay.
I don't mean like to say this, but I never cheated on my wife, but I had thoughts and I had feelings of it. But I never cheated. I never went through the act.
So you're the 1 in 1 million.
I never went through the act.
I wouldn't say 1 in 1 million. That's self-control.
I'm in a relationship
You really gotta know how to have self-control.
I never went through the act.
You gotta know how to have self-control.
Had thoughts a million times.
I think a lot of people have thoughts.
And I wanted to, but I never went through
I'm in
it.
a relationship now.
I want to know, Dustin, question. He said niggas don't go looking, women do. Why do you say that?
I do go looking, but I'm not gonna act.
Niggas is single. It doesn't count if you go looking.
You go looking?
Yeah, why do you say women go looking more than men do?
Well, I'm in a relationship, and like he said, I had thoughts, I
Niggas
had
just get caught.
temptations,
That's what
but I
they
never
is.
want to
They
look
be
at
their
it.
friend house.
It's one of those things
So why say women go looking more though?
I wonder if I want to do this. I mean,
so you say women sit and contemplate and plan
single
and plot?
people. Okay, I'm gonna say women. As me being
which part of we
as me being gay. Yes, people that are single.
Niggas don't go look at women, dude. That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
I understand, but he must talk about single women. He's talking about married women.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's talking about married women.
No, he said women. He
Okay.
didn't specify. Please specify, Dustin.
I don't think
Okay,
men
I understand what he said, but you
get caught
asked me a
because
question.
y'all know
Me
how
I was
to
asking him based on his question.
Single people, yes. Single people has been in my
Yeah, but they're
inbox
single
talking
male
about
friends.
this, that, and the third. It just crossed my mind, but it's like, no.
So you were tempted because they were single and you were.
Because I know he's not talking about married women.
How do you know?
I don't think
We're waiting on him to respond.
I thought that's what
They don't
the
understand
original
the
question
question
was.
was.
So I thought he was talking about like married men.
Married
don't go
women.
looking married women do.
Well, we have.
I think it's
Can
something
I say
in
this?
general.
Can I say this? I think men, we think more about mind. Sometimes we do act. We do act. We do
A lot,
act.
y'all.
We do act. We do act.
A lot.
Okay. We do act a lot.
I'm glad you said
A lot
that.
of times it be in our mind more because we have a
He said,
lot of
"What's the
temptation.
question?"
Oh my God.
Because we have a lot of temptation. We have a lot of stuff out
The
here
question
that we
was,
look at.
does marriage stop cheating?
Does marriage
He
stop
said, "What's the
Yes.
question again?"
That's
I
the
think
question.
so.
The
I really
original
think-
question was,
Because
does marriage stop cheating?
Because your conscious mind, you think like, yo, I don't want to disappoint. To me, I don't want to disappoint God, and I don't want to disappoint the person I put my voice.
You made a promise to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
It's now
damn,
contract.
I don't think motherfuckers contract now.
I don't want to cross that.
I don't. I don't.
But it's times in
I
your
agree with
mind.
that.
I agree with your thought process.
And that's why I
Yo,
said yes,
you like
because we
times in
literally
your
think
mind?
about that.
We
Y'all
think
sit here
about
and
it.
say, y'all, female statistics say we don't think about that. We think about
We
that.
do. We
It's
do.
legally, it's God binding.
Right.
It's like everything expenses was giving when I decided to stand in front of this altar in front of my family and your family and put this ring on your finger. This is it. This is what it is. Now temptation does run it through our thoughts and everything else, and we have the thoughts and everything
why
else
is the
out
divorce
here.
He said, if you
Like
want
you
to
said,
cheat,
the
you gonna
women.
cheat.
Why is the divorce rate so high?
you own.
But that's what I said.
Exactly. My point.
That's
If
all
you
I
want
said.
to cheat, you're
You
gonna
gonna
cheat.
No.
Period.
Whether
Period. Whether you married,
No. Fuck that, because for the simple fact, my boyfriend dipped out for 3 days, 4 days ago. We have not slept in the bed for a week together at all. I've been wanting to cheat for Lord knows how long. This is my personal business as of
This
right
nigga
now,
said I've been
right
wanting
this
to-
moment, right now. No, I'm gonna cut it clear.
But you got
I've been
self-control.
wanting to cheat right this moment, to this second, to this moment, right now. My man is in West Virginia, and I've been wanting to cheat. But I would not bring it upon myself as my morals and my values and my heart, and we're not even married, to sit there and bring it upon myself to cheat and justify what we can have going on ever. Now, I can only imagine being married to this man and me going out and stand in front of my Lord and say, this is the person I'm going to spend my life with, and cheat on them.
But that's because you don't want to cheat.
That's never
Right.
going to happen. I can never bring
That's
myself
'cause
to
you don't
do
wanna
that.
cheat.
All
But
men-
you know,
all
at
men
this
don't
moment
wanna
right
cheat,
now,
though.
Okay,
I want to do
understand
it
that.
to go out and be
We
spiteful.
never said that all men cheat.
gotta go out
They don't
and
know
be
how
spiteful
to
just to
control
do
when they
it.
get
Hey, hold on.
What'd you say?
That put a cap on it right there. That's what said. More people cheat who is married.
No,
I
that's
don't
not it. No,
I'm not
He
gonna
just
take that
flipped
one.
the whole
I'm not
fucking
gonna-
side
I'm
on
not
y'all
gonna
that.
We're not.
I'm not
no.
gonna take that one.
It's no,
But it's
we
one.
ignoring that.
I'm
yeah.
not
Really?
gonna take
We
that one.
ignoring that?
That nigga
Yeah.
said,
No,
I
I'm not
agree
gonna
with
take
it.
that
Right,
one.
let me
Yeah.
tell you right.
Thing.
When we do cheat on
I-
just don't get caught.
I think more
I
married
still
women
just think
cheat
that
than
if you want to cheat,
I
you
think
cheat.
more
Now, this is
men
the thing
cheat
though.
than
I feel like,
I
yes,
don't know.
marriage makes
She said, what in the world?
I feel like marriage
Like
makes
Kendra
it
talk.
more solidified.
Yeah.
Yes.
Marriage makes it more serious of a thing when you cheat. So I completely agree with both of you guys. I'm not saying that y'all are wrong. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Opinion based.
I agree, but at the same time, I feel like whether you're married or not, your decision to cheat is gonna be your decision.
Thank you.
Whether you, and I don't mean that to say
Thank
that
you.
men are gonna cheat regardless. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not generalizing anybody. People are people. Everybody's an individual. Everybody
Right.
makes their own decisions. But at the end of the day, if you decide that you want to go out here and jeopardize whatever it is that you got, whether it's a marriage or it's just a relationship, or y'all just kicking it, y'all trying to get to know each other, and y'all decide to be exclusive,
So y'all gonna
it's
be
all
down-
the same to
Yeah,
me.
y'all gonna be down with the threesome or
Yeah,
what?
twice, 3 times.
That's a whole other question.
Yeah, because
And that
what was the
depends.
question?
That's
Y'all
like
gonna
the
be down
thing
with
I
the
was
threesome or
club when
what?
I was younger.
What?
The women, are y'all gonna be down with the
Oh, yeah,
threesome
I
or
heard.
what?
Oh, we gonna be down with too much.
Yeah.
You done had too much damn tequila.
No, I wouldn't know this.
Will created his own quick question. Will created his own damn question. And whole time I'm ready to entertain it. Because I'm like, oh, let's talk about this.
No, never.
That's a good question.
Never.
No.
No.
No? Yes.
Damn.
Quick answer for me would be yes.
Yes.
We not on the
That's a
same
good
page,
answer.
we don't know.
Come on.
Quick answer for Bruce.
I don't believe in sharing my partner in my bedroom. period.
It's a hard question, boy.
It's a
What
loaded
reason?
question.
It's not a loaded question. I feel like I don't feel
I don't
like
like
it's
to
loaded.
share.
Huh?
I don't like to share.
Young lady.
It depends. I think it depends on how you
You
look
open
at
the
it.
door for too much stuff.
Mm.
And the Bible
Soul
talks about
ties.
opening the
I
door
think
for
it
stuff like
depends
that.
on how you
Don't
look
open
at
I
it.
feel like that's opening up. You might as well have a poly. What is it called?
Polygamy.
Polygamy
Polygamy.
relationship.
I-
Yeah.
Mm.
See, maybe it's because I'm
Why
a young
we-
person at the table.
And shout out to Kokayeena
Hey,
because
can I
she
hit
posted
Ken-
that
can
the
I
other
hit
day
Ken- can I hit Kendra's perspective?
about the poly relationship and
I
was
wanna
like,
hear
can you
Kendra's
have one?
perspective.
You know what a poly relationship
Yeah,
is?
probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
I couldn't do that shit either.
I want to hear Kendra.
Maybe it's because I'm the young person at the table.
Fuck up, man.
No,
But
they got everything got to do
sometimes-
with the age. I think that's something with preference.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with having threesomes.
She could be tied up in the bed.
I think if you made a decision with your partner and y'all talked about it, y'all communicated about it, y'all set expectations, y'all set boundaries,
I'm making qualms anyway. You want ice?
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
it's like that. But I think it depends on how you're looking at it. Because if you're looking at it like Bree looks at it, where she says she don't want to share her man,
And I don't want a female touching me. So.
Exactly. Oh, I don't mind the female part, but I don't want to share my man.
it don't make me no difference. So
Say it again.
maybe that's all. Y'all got to like way too much of my person. It don't make me a difference. But I think it depends on like, cause then people you gotta.
Are you
ask,
okay
like,
with a threesome with two guys?
Right. I'm like,
That's
you
what
gotta
I'm about
ask.
to say. That's
You
the-
gotta
that's
ask
the
questions.
part.
I don't want to be in a
Like,
relationship. We need
you
to
get an extra person, you get an extra
part.
man, you get an extra woman. How is this working?
Dudes don't
And
like
then
to
some
do
people will mind doing a
She said, what
threesome.
in the world?
I feel like some
That's
people
Lola.
wouldn't mind having a threesome if they're it's different. Whether you're the extra person or you're one of the people in a relationship,
I don't want no.
and
I don't mind
that
a
makes
threesome
a
on the
difference.
single.
Oh,
as well.
interesting. Did you hear say why you say that?
Because I'm just like, no, but I don't know for real. But
You don't
no,
want a
when-
threesome
when,
because
when
of
you're
what?
in a committed relationship, you shouldn't bring outside of sex. For real.
Thank you.
You open
That's
the
how
door
you
or something.
Shit.
It's tough, but you shouldn't.
Me and Quan said the same thing.
You shouldn't,
I
but
get
it's
bored in the
cool
bed.
too.
It
You got
sounds
a
fun
great,
to me.
you gotta.
I'll have a
yeah,
threesome if I'm single.
Like Kendra said,
I'm not gonna have
you
a threesome if I'm
gotta
in a relationship.
communication. You gotta respect and understand. It's cool.
Yeah, because then you open up that door and then they start doing shit by themselves.
Yeah.
And then what? Where you go from
Yeah.
there?
But that's the whole
I
conversation.
want it.
that
I
happens.
want it, but
You know what I mean?
you know,
Oh, that's something that
I want it.
you want.
Yeah,
You want or want it.
I want it just to try it, but
and then you gotta find the right person. Like, 'cause
Right.
then, like, if you're in the relationship, it's also about finding somebody that y'all are both comfortable with and having someone who understands that you ain't coming between it.
You're not gonna see, and that's the problem. Okay.
That's the thing. Wait,
That's the problem.
This is the thing. Okay, so
A
if
lot of
I'm in
people
a
don't understand
relationship,
that. A lot of people don't understand.
if I'm in a relationship with somebody and me and my man are like, hey, we're gonna have a threesome, we're gonna pick this girl up because I'm cool girl.
A lot of people don't know their boundaries.
But the thing is, if we have this threesome, homegirl gonna know that she ain't.
And a lot of people
she is
don't
there for
understand
our
their
pleasure.
boundaries. Yeah.
We are sharing
And a lot
her.
of people
I'm
don't
not sharing my
understand-
man.
A lot of people don't
And that's
understand
how I
boundaries.
look at it.
A lot of people don't
So
understand
if you
boundaries.
look, it depends on your perspective.
Okay. Understanding and talking about it.
Yeah, I think it's about communication, expectations, and exploring your own feelings about it.
Right.
Having a self-awareness of knowing what you're able to handle. Because some people can handle that. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people are like, hell
Well,
no.
I'm the weak
Like,
link.
really,
I can't
like, hell
Maturity.
no.
Some people can't handle it.
Maturity out there.
It's not what's
Please have
maturity.
maturity.
Well, I'm immature as
I
fuck
kinda-
because I can't do it.
I've had a threesome in my relationship, and the two people I had a threesome with ended up going out with each other.
Damn.
So I
The
went
guy,
from
the person that you was in a relationship with,
I
and the
literally
person
went
that
from having a homosexual relationship to having sex with my best female friend, and then ended up in a heterosexual relationship.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's wild.
So like you say, it's one of those things
You open the
that
door. You can open the door.
Mhm.
Can
it's
I
one of the
speak
things
on
you
this?
have to realize.
Yeah,
Someone
I
needs to
wanna speak on
understand
this, yeah.
that you shouldn't be able to come between. And I think that's something I need to have because my relationship right now, sexually, we're deprived. We're two of the same. That's the problem with us. And we're looking for a third person, not to burn nobody's ears, but that's something that we need to let someone know.
I
If we
heard
decide-
it was on fire.
we decide to bring somebody else to the bed is that you need to understand, like just bluntly. I guess that's what we need to say. Just bluntly, you understand you're not coming between us.
Exactly.
So after this, you need to just part with both of us.
But
Block
this
us,
is bullshit.
leave
I
it.
got a question
lose
for
it,
you.
it is what it
I
is.
got a question for you though, because this is the same relationship that you're not 100% secure in yourself, so you gonna willingly bring somebody else in?
But see, that's borderline. We're only touching subjects. We're not getting into it. But yeah, that's some of the problems that we're having is that we're two of the same. That's why when I see someone that looks appealing to me, because we're two of the same, it's why thoughts are coming in my head and temptations of cheating. We're touching subjects.
So what
we're not
is
digging
stopping
deep
you
into
from
that.
crossing that line?
That I'm not the type of person to cheat. I wouldn't want that done to me. I am a child of my father's
But
cheating
everybody
and a child
don't
of
live
divorce.
like that though.
And I will hope that my significant other will have the same respect for me, for my feelings,
You will
for my
hope, but you
morals,
don't
and
know.
everything else.
You don't know.
No, you
So that 3-day hiatus could have been a 3-day threesome.
Exactly.
yeah.
With somebody else.
Open it in his head though.
You never know.
We go through it.
I'm just
We've been
saying.
going through it.
I think this is okay when you're
But-
single, not okay when you're in a relationship.
I would say also
Can
for me.
I speak about this
Yeah,
real
go
quick?
ahead.
I just have a quick question, girl.
Your questions lead us down dark
Yes,
alleys.
please. Because I have a lot of things on my mind.
Okay, well,
Because-
come on now. We don't need no quick
I don't know,
questions.
yo.
We got Will questions.
I-
New segment. Will questions.
Real
Will
questions.
Will
Right,
questions.
right.
We'll
'Cause
get them.
People be attacking me, yo. 'Cause
Okay.
I consider myself, I guess, Christian.
You guess?
You don't know.
No, I consider myself Christian.
You gonna make me
right?
come from behind the camera
Okay.
and this shit. Go
But,
ahead.
no, but look.
And I
but
say you
look,
can't
but
come from
look,
behind the
but
camera
look.
today.
I need to leave
Say your
then,
ass
'cause
back
No,
here.
but real quick. But people be saying, I actually got people that's, that's actually with the transgender family. And they actually had questions about, now they actually, yeah, that's why I said I had a question about it, because I want to really know what people going through, for real. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because, people on the transgender joint, like, I have a person that was a man, now it's a woman, went through the
Sex change.
You're right, the sex change, you're right. But they're going through heterosexual sex right now with their partner. Because they're going through heterosexual sex with their partner because their partner is a female
But they're
naturally.
But they're biologically a man,
Right.
so technically heterosexual.
So now it's families and everything. Now it's families and everything thinking like, how do I deal with this? So it's a lot of confusion in the LGBT community that we're trying to clear up. So How does that go about? You know what I'm saying?
I don't got no comment.
I think that'd be an area for
It's a lot of confusion, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are biologically a male, so
That
it
is
kind of
right.
It's gonna be different for everybody.
But
It's
like,
technically
it's just
heterosexual.
literally heterosexual sex.
It technically is.
My
Whether you look like a
problem
female
is
or
with
not, you're
something
still
like that.
biologically a male.
I know butches that had sex with feminine males.
Yeah,
My problem is with anybody that does that is the welfare of the child. Because me being a gay male, I don't like when people, straight guys, females come to me bluntly and I say, I want a son first. And then I want a daughter. I want 2 children. Oh, how you gonna raise your son to be gay? That stuff right there is just completely oblivious. You're stupid for having that come out your mouth.
That's
Period.
depending on a child.
But my thing is, for the welfare of the child, how is that supposed to play out? How are you supposed to raise your child with your child understanding that? And the same thing goes for me. I want children. I'm a gay male. But if you're going to be a female to male and a male to female, and then you're popping out children, it's like, the hell? You're confusing society that's your own age, your own generation. How do you want to explain it to your child?
Right.
That's the only stigma I have against it. I feel like whatever you decide you want to do in your own home is what you decide you want to do.
Right.
You know, we have statute of limitations that have, if your child got to be taken out your house, we got CPS for that. If anything else has to happen, we have other things in place for that. But I don't understand it myself. If you want to be a male and you want to get breasts and this, that, and the third, but the next thing you know, you have a child on the way, I don't know.
Right.
It don't make sense to me.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
that just right there.
I just want to clear that up.
You need counseling at this point. Like
The whole family
you should need counseling before that because I'm not changing my body.
Right.
But you need counseling, like for real.
Some people who
at
got
this
sex
point.
changes
Yeah.
actually wanted to go back.
Right.
I don't
But I
understand.
thought you had to have counseling in order to
You
do
do.
that.
You have to take counseling.
I was saying, I
You
thought
actually
it was
do.
a requirement.
You do. It is
I just want to
it's a
understand.
requirement.
But
It is a
it's-
requirement.
They feel like it's
Bree, you're right.
It
You're
is
right. You're
psychological.
right.
They
You're
feel like
right.
it's
It has to be psychological if you're biologically a male,
Before
but you feel like you're a
they do
female.
the
It has to
surgery
be
on you,
psychological.
they
Unless
have to
you
make
what they
you-
say when you have
hermaphrodite?
yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
you would know that by biologics. You know what I mean?
But,
you know,
I mean, you
yeah,
need
would,
actually,
because
like,
you're born with both parts, but your
real counseling
chromosome levels will
to
tell you
do
if you're a male or a female.
I like
That's how they should decide what the people want to say. Well, not at the point.
Okay, so
Always
what's our next will question?
I think that's.
I don't
was
understand.
it. Yeah,
I was gearing up putting my seatbelt on.
That was it,
You be hitting us with the
Yeah,
boom.
yeah, because
You
I
know.
really do want to know. Could this stuff be really?
I mean,
going on
yeah,
in life?
that's what we're here for. We're here to talk about any social, political, economical,
Oh my God.
any type of
Come to the round table again. Butch you had.
I really do want to
So you
know.
had a butch. No, that's supposed to be doing it with
Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you did.
I
lied.
got
I
you
don't know
know,
what the fuck
that
you're
was
talking
love
about.
people that. You know.
We did. We talked
What about the transgenders? They can always
That's
take
like
the
the
female
it's like a
side off.
process.
Right.
You did what?
Transgender females, whatever they are, that were supposed to be, that were born females, but now they
You don't even know what the fuck.
I don't know what to call them.
Mm.
I don't know what to call them. You're a female, what should I say?
Right.
I don't know. Okay, so, but they had an issue with always, periods.
Oh
Biologically,
yeah,
only
they did have
females have
that.
periods.
They did have
So
that.
they had an issue with always having the female symbol on the pads.
So what it was
yeah,
was
they
it's a
did.
female
Always
the
change that.
This a
had
female-
the transgender community had an
Yeah,
issue
doodle
with
With always
them
have
always
the-
for women.
That's the truth.
That's exactly what I said. Like, it's a female thing. Biologically, you're a female. Whether you look like a female or not, you're still biologically a female. It's a female thing. So why they took it
So
always
being
took the
that-
symbol off.
Being
So
that
always
Your
is taking the symbol
transgender
off.
Always
does
took the
not
symbol
say
off.
always is for female. Always
they
is female.
can't say that no more.
So on the
They
back,
say
on the
that.
back of your
Symbol.
tampon box,
Yeah.
it has like a little symbol. You know,
Not
the
mine.
little symbol.
The mean female.
You know.
She said that, man.
I say-
she said.
Trojan Magnum.
She
for the
got me
record.
fucking confused. I don't even know
I
where
got-
I'm going.
I mean, I haven't.
What?
I'm pregnant, so I got with him in a minute. But they got the little symbol on the back.
That was a
Yeah.
problem.
They got the symbol on the back that says, women. Like,
Yes.
for women. It's a
Society
women's
ain't
party.
And you know what I feel like?
But
If they use that same,
They
if
got
they use that
the
same
transgender people
motherfucking
got
energy for
offended.
discrimination,
Society
it's happening
got
so much
nothing
further.
better to
Like,
do with their
Like,
life.
it's a female thing. If you're born female, you
It's
decide
you
to
have
But
a
you either have a period or you don't.
It's for
Right.
women. It's
You
for
do.
women biologically, physically, whatever the heck you want to fucking call it.
Men ain't having
You're
periods.
Right.
I just want to say.
If they was like,
well, not bleeding periods anyway. I do feel like men have periods.
Right, but
You just don't have. You don't need a tampon or pad to suffice.
Yeah,
that.
most used to do a chronic bleeding.
Yeah, we breaking it down, yo. I like it, yo. We breaking it down.
Mr. Easley, okay. Ain't seen him in a while.
Oh.
We breaking it down, yo.
I'm blast.
Raw talent. Raw.
Okay.
Raw.
And uncut.
Raw.
Next
Yeah,
subject.
y'all want
But
to
bleeding
bleed
now, we gonna
We
dust
got about
We might as well be. We on a
couple
roll.
more minutes to be like move up hard.
answer the question after
I'm gonna keep it real.
the second question he had.
He said something bleeding.
That was
You
one.
going hers.
Did you shuffle it? Is it
I'm going
I
home.
don't know.
I'm mad now.
Bring her your own question.
So it says, does it matter who makes the most money in a relationship, or is it irrelevant?
Depends on
To me, it's so they bleeding now. Yes, we have periods. Okay, that's it.
We be sick of y'all ass.
Okay, that's yeah, right.
And bleeding, okay?
Right at the same damn
At
time,
the same damn
and
time.
emotional, and you
Lucky
know,
ass still
it's a
alive
such
to be
thing
honest.
as
Some
getting
of y'all
away with going through menstrual stress,
come up
right?
missing.
It is.
Yes.
Oh, let me kill somebody.
We can, that's an insanity defense. I just want to let you know, Dustin.
Okay, so does it matter who makes the most money in a relationship, or is it irrelevant?
To me, it's irrelevant, but I've had situations where I feel like it hasn't been.
It's irrelevant in my case, but my current situation, this became relevant.
It can become relevant. That is very true.
Okay.
Very, very true.
Elaborate.
Security issues.
Because
And that's what it is.
it depends
Security
on
issues.
who. To me, it depends on the two individuals and what your expectations are when it comes to a relationship. I actually heard of my friend. She started seeing this guy, and he specifically told her that his last relationship ended because he wanted a relationship where they would go 50-50 on everything. And homegirl that he was with, who's now his ex, she wanted a relationship where her husband was taking care of her. Financially.
You're a chapter woman.
Hold on, let me be clear. She wants to work, but the work that she is passionate about was like nonprofit work. It was volunteer mostly, or like low paying jobs, but she was very passionate about it. She was into social work. So she desired a relationship where she was with a man who was able to financially provide for her. And she was still working. She wasn't going to try and be lazy, sitting her ass or nothing. She just... That was the relationship that she wanted. And, you know, as you're getting older, I'm 25, so my peers, we're all getting to that point where, like, we're just starting to thinking about, like, serious and longevity in relationships. I mean, some people reach that before then. Some people reach it way later. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, 25 is when you start thinking about that. And so I think it can become relevant. Personally,
in humans, it's relevant, yo.
It can very much be relevant.
But
why you say that, Will?
Because from personal shit is relevant, and just knowing how we are conditioned and how we're thinking in society is relevant, because we always want more. Because we just conditioned to
always elevate,
always go up. So it's like,
animal.
yeah, same
So
thing.
what?
It's any animal.
Yeah, just always doing
Evolution.
better, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, I think it's relevant because we always want to do better, but we know it's situations where things may be slower than.
So who's
maybe
most likely
slower.
to have the issue?
Nowadays,
It could be
I
anybody.
think, yeah, it could be anybody.
It could be either one at this point. Because I feel like we do have, going back to earlier when we talking about that equal opportunity. There's equal opportunity for a woman to make more money than a man and vice versa. I think it is, it's not like it used to be. Like in the past, even 60 years ago, our world was quite different. And it was mostly men who were taking care of the household because women were expected to be home and take care of home, which is fine. Some women and men still implement that.
Yeah.
But they do it by choice now.
Yeah.
Back then it was more so that's what you did.
That's what you had to do.
That was it. That was your
My
option.
grandmother lives by that, and I don't believe
I'll be at house.
So I got a
That's
question.
not how it always
But
works.
we have a married person on the panel. So your wife works, you work, right? Correct. That's your situation.
Yeah.
Okay. So both of y'all bringing home the bacon.
Right.
So who's responsible for the household duties?
We both are, but the duties like cooking and stuff, she do it mainly. I cook sometimes, but like mainly, I know it was like a lot of shit that went down because I wasn't catching up to where she was in life. So I know it was a lot of shit going on.
So why do you think that
hold on. So who brings home more, you or your wife?
She bring in, like, on paper, she bring in more. But as far as...
What else is it?
Okay, so hold on, Brittany. So she brings some more on paper. Right. She fulfills more of the home duties. Mm-hmm. So why do you feel like it's fair or justifiable that she has to do more home duties and she brings home more bacon than you do?
Good question.
Oh yeah, I don't feel like she has to.
No, it could be that she just wants to.
Yeah, I feel like that's basically trained.
It just happens to pan. It happens to pan out that way. Sometimes it just pans out that way.
But are you willing to step in, like if the load got heavy? Are you willing to step in and lift it? It's not like, oh, well, you're a woman, so you're obligated to do it.
So if you're willing to step in and do that, do you feel like you could fulfill that? If your wife started to peep out the difference and say, hey, Will, this is this is that. I'm bringing home more bacon than you. I'm bringing home more money. I'm doing more at home. Do you feel like you could fulfill that?
I think I can with time, but with that time, I'm going to need cooperation and I'm going to need understanding too. Because
patience, so you can get a swing of things.
Right, exactly. Because it's going to take
time.
Yeah.
Cook and take care of the kids and everything else.
But I think I can.
As for me, like Kendra said, it's one of the situations I never have been in a relationship that I rely on anybody. I feel like you go into a relationship, you should be able to provide for yourself.
Amen.
If you go to a partnership or anything along those lines, you should be able to rely on yourself. Like your parents or any of your friends ever told you, if you're going to give somebody some money and help somebody out, don't take out your own pocket. Don't miss it. And that's what I always was raised on. If I'm going to bring someone into my life, I have to make sure consciously I'll be able to do this for myself as this person walks out the door, regardless who they are. I'm supposed to live without my mother. I'm supposed to live without my sister. If something ever happened to my significant other, my husband, my wife, if they were to die tomorrow, the day after we got married, I should be able to do this without them.
That's true. That's how we're supposed to be.
So,
standing on 2 feet.
I've been in relationships that I have been the sole provider. I've been in relationships that I have literally had people live off of me. I've been in relationships that he don't like his name. It's not on camera. Mine is on camera. I make sure mine stay on camera. But I've been in relationships that I've been the sole provider. People have lived off of me. And sometimes I've allowed this. Sometimes I've made an adamant in our relationships. Hey, I'm doing this and I'm doing that.
How did it make you feel, though?
It made me feel, I'm not going to lie, empowered in some points. And that's wrong in the relationship. But you have to know where you come from. You have to also.
What do you mean by empower?
Empower is like, you know what? I can do this. You know what? And kind of find out they want shit at the end of the day. So that's why subconsciously it made me feel like I'm doing the damn thing. Like, you ain't shit, nigga. Like, not to be funny because you're not thinking that in a relationship. But when I'm gonna say it like this. You didn't think that. I didn't think that in a relationship. Like, I'm doing this even though it was a burden on me. But at the end of the day, finally they cheated on me. They played me. It was like, this is why. This is why I was so powerful during our relationship. And at the same note, when you did what you did towards me, this is why you're not nothing.
Right.
This is why I had to make sure. This is why the Lord gave me the strength to do what I had to do without you. Now, I'm in a relationship now that we want to have on certain things in our life. And I feel like it's not nit for tat all the time. It's just like, if I can do for you, I can do. Whoever, when we get to the checkout, who pulling their wallet out? Who can swipe their card faster? Like, it's literally a race now. It's like, oh, that's $99.99.
Let's get it.
Who can swipe the card faster? Right. That's how it is now in my relationship, and I feel like that's how relationships should be. Some people might want to have a joint account. Some people might want to sit there and keep their stuff private or whatever the case may be. And people have their own perspective of how they want to keep their financial situation.
4 accounts.
But I think personally for me, it works like who's going to pay for this, you know. Whoever can pull out, can pull out. It is what it is. That's just how I look at it.
I'm glad you're just coming on.
He's looking at his watch.
You should both have individual accounts. You have a joint savings and a joint checking.
Exactly. And whoever can pull out, can pull out. You know.
I like that.
Money together with money separate all the
Yep.
time.
Exactly.
I watch Steve Harvey.
Oh, y'all talking about the money?
Yeah.
I think for me, this question is interesting because I'm still exploring how I feel about that. Because I've never been in a relationship where I am financially entangled with my significant other. I have always either had my own place and he has his own place. Like we have our own 2 sets of bills. I've never lived with my significant other. So our finances have never been together. So for me at this point, I'd rather just have someone that you can take care of you and I can take care of me. Now, whether that means you're making $60,000 a year and taking care of you, and I'm making $29,000 a year and I'm still taking care of me, that's fine.
Yep.
And vice versa, even if it was, reverse. If I'm making more money than you, but you got your own shit together, then I mean that's great too. Like for me, that's what it's more about. But I mean, if you driving a Lexus and I got my hoopty. I mean, I feel like as long as I can upkeep my hoopty and I can do what I gotta do,
we all good.
We all
Thank
good.
you.
Like also with couples and also with the individualism, we also get greedy too, where we just like, damn, we just want so much more that we just get.
Your eyes bigger than your stomach.
Well,
Right.
also
It's
some
like,
people
damn.
are just spoiled.
Right, exactly.
Some people are
I'm
used
spoiled.
to getting.
I'm spoiled.
So much.
I'm spoiled.
Yeah,
but guess what?
But
I
look,
spoiled
what you
myself.
Exactly.
myself.
And then also it's different.
I'm sitting here
because-
charging my watch on the back of my phone. Like, I'm
Also,
spoiled.
I think
I
it's
was.
different because that's just like I have friends who are from families where their families help support them. And then I'm the type of person where my family is not able to financially support me. So when it came time for me to like move out on my own and things, I'm responsible for myself and that's it. And then I have some friends who are able to be in a place and they're blessed that their parents, grandparents, is able to help them out. And so they're able to be in different places than you may be in. And that's also another thing.
I know, for me
It's so many
personally,
different places.
I've had one situation where living with the person, entangling your name on credit, all that together. At first it sounded like, oh yay, we're joining forces together. You take on that, and when the shit came to a fucking end,
Shit hit the fan.
Shit got real,
Shit
and
hit
it
the
made
fan.
me so scared that 11 years later, I've never fucking put my name on somebody else until I met my daughter's father.
I would never do it.
Like, to the point when I went to go get my car, they was like, you have no established credit. Yeah, because I ain't used that motherfucker. I was scared to type in my social security number. Like, that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if I tie this to any motherfucking thing, it affects me, it affects my kid, it affects my future, it affects every decision I make, every step I take going forward. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's what, to me, that's what it boils down to. It's like, my mentality is, people say you bring 50-50 to a relationship. No, my nigga, I need you to bring 100.
Yeah, 100.
Because I feel like this, if you can stand on your 2 feet, your 10 toes, and I can stand on my 2 feet and my 10 toes, nigga, we can build a whole motherfucking nation on
a
our
whole
back
nother
with
different
no
level.
motherfucking
No
issue.
problem.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank
Then,
you.
if you fall short carrying your honey,
Guess the fuck what? Who's there for you?
I got you.
Oh
Because I already
my
got 100.
God.
I ain't coming halfway. You know what I'm saying? I ain't coming with 50%. I'm coming with 100. So I'm already fully equipped, full armor, ready for war. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if it's any other way, I feel like if it's any other way, then we set ourselves up for failure. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up.
And
like,
see, that's what I said about mine.
like I tell my guys that all the time. Like we gotta both be at 100%.
Yeah, you gotta be at 100%.
Because we can't move into that.
And mine has so don't believe in
the dog,
anything.
and you know what I'm saying? We can't do that.
Now, I will say, with all that being said, if I meet the man of my dreams and he tell me he don't want me to work and he want me to stay at home,
I got you.
Shit, I would be your housewife.
But you better keep that kid though.
But this is the thing. But I'm okay with it.
You still better make sure you're protected.
You got to.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'll work part-time and save all that
money.
I'm okay
The
with that.
same thing.
And
my sister is living that life
I'll
right
be
now.
home running all day.
But having a
You know
kid,
what?
but
I'm
I said
sorry.
having a kid
I've
that's
seen
not
it.
disguised. I feel like
Y'all
you need to make sure that you and your kid are always covered no matter what. I don't give a fuck what he said out his mouth. I don't give a fuck who he is. I don't give a fuck if he is.
I ain't talking about we boyfriend and girlfriend. We gonna live together. And he like, oh no. I'm talking about we getting
I'm still
married.
not hearing nothing out my mouth.
There's a contract.
Yeah, okay, all right. I got you. You said contract. That's all I need.
That's all I need.
You said contract.
No, that's how I feel about it. But I'm the type of person, I'm
so
also like, I have old school.
And y'all not listening to nothing coming out of my mouth.
No, I heard you. I heard you. I'm answering.
Mother.
I'm answering. You said your mama went through the same thing.
Mother. My sister right now is a stay-at-home mother. And after my father was in the military. And he cheated on her. She got basically nothing in child support, alimony, nothing. And he asked her to stay home. And be a stay-at-home mom and raise my sister and I. He cheated on her. My sister right now.
But that goes back to that what I was saying about your relationship. That goes back to what I was saying.
But they're not living my husband's in the military. Literally, I'm watching my sister go through the same thing that my mother is going through.
But that goes back to the same
my
thing.
My niece is only, mind you, my parents broke up when I was 8. My sister was 4. My niece is 2. I'm watching the same exact thing going on in my sister's life.
So hopefully it turns
and
out
it's just like one of those things, like people can sit and say, I want someone that, and my husband said stay home. We told my little sister, my grandmother, my mother said, keep your own shit. Keep your own self. Keep your own mind. Go to work. Yeah, you understand.
Just because you letting your husband take care of you don't mean you don't have your own shit.
Hold on. See, you're still not listening to the story. I've had this happen twice in my life. My sister now, my niece is spoiled as hell. At 2 years old, she's not talking simply because she's spoiled. My niece go, oh, you want a snack? So my brother-in-law decided he wants to leave at 4. When my niece is 4, like my father did us, and my sister had to come back home, what the hell she's going to have then? But she was told, generational, that you shouldn't do this. This is what you need to try to do for yourself. Because my mother has, and my mother.
But what if she come out on the other end of the spectrum where they stay together for the rest of their life?
And I hope so. Of course, it's my little sister.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can't. I mean, if you walk through life making decisions off of somebody else's past, you would never excel.
But at the same time, what I just said, if they got married, they're married. But let's just say my brother-in-law died tomorrow. Let's say I go home, y'all drop me off. And I wake up before I go to work at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, and my brother-in-law dead. What's supposed to happen?
Well, I mean, first of all, that's a whole nother situation.
I mean, I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping 100. We're raw. We're raw.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping it 100. Y'all can sit there and say, ooh, that sounds fucked up, Quan, what you just said out your mouth. But it's 100% true. If you don't make a life for yourself, what are you supposed to have at the end of the day?
But I'm not saying, I didn't say anything about
at the same time.
That is your experience and what your
And that's why there's only 4 of us sitting at this table. That is my experience. I listen to yours, I listen to hers, and I listen to mine.
Well, I was down with mine in the first place. You just jumped in and was like, oh, well, that's happened to my mama and this happened to her. I get that.
Yes, that's my experience.
What you're saying is, but that's just saying you didn't let her finish hers.
We literally sat there and we told my sister, hey, try to.
But you didn't let her finish hers.
Hey, try to have your own life. My mother works private duty, and she's had husbands passed away, and their wife don't know how to write a check at 80 years old.
Why you don't know how to write a check?
But that's exactly what we're telling my sister.
They taught that in school.
That's what we're telling my sister. It's like one of those things like you don't know how to live your own life.
Because I hear what you're saying, but I ain't say none of that shit. I agree with what you're saying, but what I'm saying is I was explaining my situation. In my situation, I'm saying that if I were to meet a man, mind you, I just said that I feel like you're supposed to be able to take care of yourself. before you enter a relationship.
But if your husband said you need to sit on your ass and raise our children, that's not taking care of yourself. That's what I'm saying.
But you're not listening to me.
Right now.
You're not listening to me.
That's what I'm regurgitating right now.
That's what I'm telling you now. Okay? For me, before I get married, I feel the need to be able to support myself and my child. Period.
Money bills, no matter what happens.
And I'm not talking about, I got a job and I'm working check to check. No, I'm talking about having money. I'm talking about having investments.
A rich man, the man of your dreams, and said, sit on your
ass. But you're not listening to me though.
She said the man of her dreams.
You said the man of her dreams. You put words into my mouth.
You said the man of your dreams. You said the man of your dreams came in your life.
But she said that about the money amount.
Okay.
She just said that he told her.
But like I said, for me, I'm not getting married until I'm in a space where I can take care of me and mine.
Exactly.
Period. Now, if I am at that place where I can take care of me and mine, and when I say take care of me and mine, I'm talking about being able to create generational wealth for me, my son, and his kids. Before I even meet somebody. That's what I want.
If you told her to raise the kids and stay home.
But she's already
I'm already set.
We're having a conversation. We're having eye contact. Hold on.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm already set.
Yeah, basically, you make it.
I'm not getting married until I am already set.
Okay.
Now, once I'm set, my son is set, my son's kids are set, and you want to come into the situation and elevate that, what I have going on, I have no problem with that. But at the end of the day, I still got my shit.
So if anything will happen, I'm good. Basically,
I know how to take care of myself. I got my honey.
So she can make money generational wealth.
Yeah,
basically.
I invest everything.
Now, if somebody just came in and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take care of you," and no, we gonna prenup because nigga, if you start fucking up,
I'm gonna be covered.
I'm gonna be good.
So that's how I am.
But that's how I feel about it. I'm sorry. We gonna prenup because that's how the world is right now. Divorce is a thing.
Yeah.
People get divorced.
And the rate is high.
And the rate is very high.
It really is.
People don't think about it.
And they think it's okay. I just divorced them. I don't like them. Okay.
But black socks, I like white.
No, who?
Divorce.
What time?
Oh.
It's time to.
It is.
So we're about to wrap this up. So I want to say thank you to everybody who watched, who commented, who interacted with us. Of course, thanks to my lovely, amazing panel. They're always awesome. We'll step back for a second. But shout out to him. He's going to be at the Nutty Buttery on the 29th for my next event, the Mountain Pot of Art. And I will be at the Nutty Buttery on tomorrow for the Intimate Mix-Up, where I have my own set and I'm featured with like 5 other poets. It'll be dope. It'll be chill, relaxed vibes. So you should come out to 701 West Clay Street. I'm about to say Clay Street. And enjoy the vibe. We want to, again, shout out all the RVA artists that have been playing this whole time. We've been vibing out. And shout out to you guys that's out there. Like y'all are motivation. Like
and love and support.
Really, really motivation. So we appreciate you and welcome to the round table discussion. And we will be seeing you again next month. New topics.
Okay. Over by the door. Okay. Can I have my
Tink did not come to play with you hoes. I came to slay, bitch.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.